Welcome guys, welcome. We're back with Galactic 4. Just give me a couple of seconds to put in the links into the chat. It won't take very long. I forgot to do it before I got started. Galactic 4 Steam page. Then we'll get into it. Just not very professional of me, is it? There we are. That'll do for that one. I'll just copy that one across for Twitch. And I'll then just sticky that one. So yesterday I didn't have much luck, did I, with the with getting a start? But I've actually been doing some testing, and hang on, just bear with me. I'm very bad at multitasking. I've just got to do one thing at a time here. Come on, there we go. There we go. And we'll talk about a few different things actually today. I'm going to give as many little tips as I possibly can give. I'll just pin that message for till the end of the stream. There we are. So there is a tracking link there. Let's get into it. So welcome to, this is going to be our second attempt, but really if you're watching this one, it's the only one that's going to be visible on YouTube for the start of an extended series of Galactic Civilizations 4. So I'm hoping to sort of continue this on and pretty much play most of it on my second live stream channel. So I'm going to be playing this first one, which I'm going to try to make this as if you've never really played Gal Civ before. Talk about it as if it's a bit of a tutorial, and also just go through the breadth and depth of what the game has got, but also what the new DLC has got. And we're going to be sort of focusing on federations and empires. Now we'll see some of those things right from the very, very start, and there's other things that we will sort of see from as we sort of delve deeper into the actual series, which, as I said before, will be on youtube.com/@DasTactic live. That's my live stream channel. So I'm trying to split off the to protect the YouTube algorithm as much as I can on this channel to then actually sort of continue on the more lengthy series this way. Before I get started, I do want to thank Stardock for sponsoring this video. So thank you, Stardock. It's yesterday I had a lot of bad luck. So the RNGesus was against us. The random number generator gods were. So I've been burning incense all day yesterday to try to be at one with the universe, or or the galaxy, of whatever we're going to be playing in. So hopefully that won't actually kick in. Also, I've done a bit of research. I've done a bit of play testing as well to try to make sure that we don't end up with starts that aren't going to be viable. So I'll go through those as well and just go through the different bits and pieces as to how things are then working. Actually, did I sticky that? I did sticky that. That's okay. A really great resource actually to help me with this, and I will just show you, I'll share this as well right from the very, very start, is the Galactic Civilizations wiki, which is put together by Stardock, like the developer of the game. So if I just go and Alt tab out, I would highly recommend actually having this sort of around to be able to look at different bits and pieces. It's very, very succinct with what the information it does give. And the thing I was actually trying to get at to what was why was it so hard for me to actually go and get an actual start? And there's a really, really cool page here, Star Types, where you kind of go through and actually have a bit of a look at. There's so much good information in this particular one. In through here, and the thing we're looking at through here is the habitable planets. Now, habitable planets, and again, if you haven't ever played the game before, they range from class 1 up to class 30, 40, whatever it might be. Like a class 30 planet is going to be exceptionally good. Class 20 is very, very good. But so you need to not just have habitable planets, but you need to have them pretty much over about 15, 16, 17, really, to make them very, very viable. You can form, and I'll get into this when we're in the game, but you can form actual colonies on anything over a class 10. So the best things we're looking for here are yellow stars, where we've got between 0 and 4 habitable planets. Now, we just happened to be extremely unlucky yesterday when I was trying to stream, because the yellow stars were all on the zeros, which is really, really bad luck. So the RNG was definitely against us. Purple stars will actually have usually between 0 and 2 or 0 and 1 habitable planets. By the way, I found some that go to 0 and 5. So I think this is actually, I did a lot of testing yesterday to sort of really try to hone down what these were. But some of the yellow systems I did get one that had a 5 in it. And most of them were just class 1s and 2s, which are still useful, and I'll go through why they're now useful in the game. They used to not be, like about a year ago they weren't, but there's been changes made to the game to make those low-level planets really quite useful for what you're doing. You've also then got a chance in purple ones of picking up Promethean, which is actually the start system that we're going to be playing in, I think is a blue one, where we do actually have some thulium. So these ones here, you've got really between like 0 and 1, 0 and 2 habitable planets around purples. Reds, 0 and 2 as well, so that when you see a red star, you're looking at sort of low levels, but you're looking at a chance of getting durantium, which is an important resource. Orange stars, this is interesting as well. They've got like different types of orange stars in through here, 0 to 4, 0 to 3, but also a chance of getting durantium and Promethean. So these are probably your best ones to look for, is the orange stars. The blue system stars, which is the one that we're going to be starting on, between 0 and 1 and 0 and 2, again with thulium in through there. And white stars, you've really only got a chance of picking up between 0 and 1 habitable planets. And this is, I think, the key to actually checking to see whether your game is viable. If you ignore the white stars and look at all the others, that's going to tell you right from the very, very start whether your game is going to be viable. So let's just get into it. I'll come back to the wiki in just a minute. Actually, no, I might just go no, I will do that. Let's just get a start. So we have a new game. Let's just go and start the game, then I'll come back maybe and talk a little bit about what's going on. No, I should. God, I'm sort of all over the place again today. I'm trying to sort of save time. We made this particular random faction yesterday, the Helix Reclaimer Syndicate. So neo-human insurgents wield ruthless fleets, purging dissent and forging a harsh, ordered galactic empire. Now, in this case, what we ended up picking up was the abilities in through here were warriors, where we end up with like better attacks from our ships, and experienced in through here, which actually, so all ships receive 25% more experience points from battles. So the more combat we can get into, the better off we're going to do as a faction. We start with a colony ship and a flagship, which is what all humanoids do start off with. The cultural focus is traditionalism. Now, this is an interesting one for us for the simple reason that we haven't chosen one of the major lines that end up with a change of government. We will get there, but one thing, and I was looking at some of the comments from people saying it seems like one-dimensional, like if you're going to be playing as an aggressive faction, like, for example, the Drengen, which are part of the core game, like if you have a bit of a look at some of these down through here. So this is the Drengen through here. They're totalitarianists, so they're going to get the bonuses and push them towards empire, as an example. The Altarians next door are egalitarians, so they're going to be pushed more towards, which one was that? I forget which one that one was. I don't even know if that may be one that's a bit more in the middle as well. But each one of these have got like a cultural focus. They also have like a personality as well. Not that we can sort of see it so much in through here. But if I go back to, but these guys here are one-dimensional if you do play it with the government system. One thing in hindsight that I'm really quite happy with the one that we actually had made for ourselves, traditionalism will allow us to split off into and choose. The way that we play the game will then dictate what type of government we're likely to end up with, and that will actually have a large bearing of that will be what we end up finding in the actual game. So we'll be playing this one a little bit differently with the way that we did actually work there. If you're new to the game and have never sort of really had a look at GalCiv before, GalCiv has got the most broad way of playing the game with building your factions than any other game. Like if I just go back again and actually just go into like new game and then choose a custom civilization here, I can literally just put in any sort of words that I like in through this other side. and then set up, like, and just generate, they have the AI generate the graphics, the logo, everything actually to do about the civilization. So you want to tweak it. But the big thing about even just building your own, even if you're not using the AI to generate something, is down through here, the personality. There's 40 of these that you can actually then go and choose from. Sorry, this is a personality. You've got to choose two in through here. This also has a bearing not on so much on your government, but on what's going to happen when you do come across them. So this is the way the AI plays it. Where's the one I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of abilities back in through here. This is it through here. These civilization abilities are like, you've got like almost like a multiplier effect between the two, and you've got like 40 of these where these will then give different unique bonuses. So it might be through tech, it might be through abilities, all sorts of different things. Like you can see down through there, we've got grants plus 3-dimensional mirror charge and allows acquisition tech. So this one opens up a whole other tech tree if you choose cartographer. Certain is plus 2 influence growth on all of our worlds, allows the defensive meditation tech. So you end up with these sort of very unique ways of playing the game. There's 40 of those, and you actually then you choose two choices here, and they sort of fold in on top of themselves. So you've essentially got like, well, what's that, 1,600 different combinations of ways of actually playing the game. Hi Chris, how you going? Managed to sort out your starting phases? Yes, I have actually, and I'm going to be able to give some useful information about that. So anyway, this is one of the really cool things about playing the game, is actually setting up your own factions. And even if you're wanting to do something fairly random, you can actually randomize this as well. So if we just go back to the biology, put in a little, I might as well show you actually, because again, I think if you're new to the game, this is one of those things, but when you see it, you think, oh wow, this is really deep. Let's choose something really sort of stupid. I'm just trying to think. Zombies in space. Now I wouldn't recommend doing this. I'll show you why. We're going to just click on zombies in space and just click on generate. Now this won't generate exactly what we're looking for, that we will have to do some tweaking. So just be aware that you will need to sort of go and change that. It's chosen the Earth. It's as the random logo for it. You'll see things are changing over here already while it's generating. It's taken a cultural focus of nihilism. It's given us a personality. If the AI plays this one, they're going to be playing as merciless and aggressive. And I think that this is sort of thing that that could be interesting. A ledger of revenants back in through this other side. It's still generating, still sort of going across and doing what it's due. And so then the civilization short name is the Void Revenants, is the actual thing it's going to be called. And the leader's name is Arc Mortis Val, the something or other. There we go. So we collect worlds one heartbeat at a time. So these essentially are going to be things that then creep out. So search for more images. So we just go yes. So we're now getting a choice of imagery that is AI generated using Stardock's sort of existing artwork that they've got. So that it's been trained on their artwork. Now it says loading, but it's also generating as well, I think. So they've I think they've had AI generate a big series of things. So if we just go and choose this guy here, for example, you end up with some pretty strange ones, like, to be honest. Like there will be some that just are crazy. You remember when they first built this one in there? It was wildly all over the place with the different sorts of imagery that did actually come back through. So we'll just go and click on done. So this is sort of like our zombies in space sort of look. I will change the logo. I might save this. I mean, we could even have this one as one of the factions that we go up against. I think that might be fun actually. So I expect multiple run trials today as usual. No, I think we've got that under control. Let's find something that's going to be looking as if zombies in space would actually sort of work out okay. One of these sort of darker ones, I think. Just go that one there. Done. All right, so this will be our zombies in space. Now you'll see that they've chosen their own species, and again, just with what they've gone on, the reason I would not recommend that you play something like zombies in space, is that you end up with this sort of species as really where you would need to be. And so if we have a look at the actual species itself, these are the species traits where when we have a look at the zombies, they are humanoid. So and you'll see that the species traits have got like either positives or negatives. And if I go and choose like vampiric, for example, it's going to be zeros all the way through, where it doesn't actually push the actual resolve, diligence, intelligence, and social in a particular direction. So vampires will be very much like humans, but the growth rate will be added. So there's a bonus there if you chose vampiric, for example. If we go back up to the humans in through here have got a +2 with social. As an example, we're playing as humanoids with the one we're going to be playing in, so we get nothing much really than just the standard growth rate for like humans. When we go down to zombies, we'll see that we have -2 for resolve, -4 for diligence, -2 for intelligence. Social is just going to be like on no change there, but it does. The only benefit it has is a high growth rate. That's all it has. So these guys are going to be very, very poor at all skills, really. So that except for social, which is the zombie way, of course. And so they've got highish approval. Again, if we have a look at vampires and just go from them, you'll see the approval rate for humans, typically, I'll just go sure, just have one last little look up through here. Yeah, 50. Relative expectations -5. So modifying the expectations of each citizen on top of the natural variation. Pollution effects on approval, -33. One, food consumption, and has some variance in the way that they look. If we go back down to the zombies again, we're looking at the approval. The native approval is high, so these means you don't have to worry about them so much in terms of your approval. This has a big bearing on how you play the game, by the way. Like this will dictate what you sort of things you need to build on planets, which is actually really cool. Relative expectations +0 in this case, so modifier in through there. So the pollution effect, they don't care about pollution. It's just actually, it's not terrible. And the food consumption is only 0.5 per month. So they hardly eat and has no variance. It is just, the zombies are the zombies, essentially. So that's all that they really have in through there. The variance will just mean that you end up with some unusual sort of people that come into your group. So that's and then we've got like a whole lot of different, generated type of zombies down the bottom through there, the citizen portraits. So, but this is a hard one to play because of these basic skills. This over here means that you don't have to focus much on looking after your zombies. Like you can actually have like low food, low approval because they can look after themselves. So the benefit is you can build production, you can build technology, you can do all these other different things. They're just not very good at doing it. So that's the rub there. But it's interesting, isn't it? Like the different types you can actually then go and get. Like the yaw, for example, are these are synthetic species, don't require food and growth. There's so much with what you can actually do in the game. It's so varied with what actually does happen. I'll just go back out and just go back out again. So that is essentially the first page. The second page is really where all of the secret source actually happens and where things actually go on. And so this is actually where this is actually now chosen the civilization traits. These are little bonuses that you then end up getting. So this one here, they've chosen militant. So it's so we've got less control. So they've actually refunded points there. So this one actually has less control to spend in the game, and I'll talk about that when we get into the actual game itself. But it's brutal, and so this one here is soldiering. When they actually hit a well, they hit hard, and they do a lot of damage. It's got one extra movement through space, and they're also slightly courageous back and through here. So it's taken -2 points or -1 point from there, and then added in 2 there, cost of 2. You end up with 3 points to start, 1 point there, and then another point courageous. So planetary defenses go up by 20%. So that's what the AI has chosen for our zombies in space and I think the in space is probably what has led to this fast being chosen. Then the actual, that 40 by 40, they've chosen Ravenous, which is receive 1,000 credits and 10% approval for 25 months after conquering a planet. It also grants the ability to consume aliens and spawn new citizens. Perfect for zombies. The AI has improved. This AI generation has improved dramatically, I've got to say, in recent times. Allows the hatcheries tech, and so it either allows different techs and blocks other sorts of techs back in through there as well. Then we've got genocidal in through here as well. So massive advantage in conquering planets due to not caring in the least about the collateral damage. Can convert other species unfortunate enough to end up on their planets into living neural network batteries. Very zombie-ish the way it's going to play. I think we'll put these in our play. Now we've got it's going to be a mountainous homeworld back in through this other side. The map theme that they're going, if they're playing it, they've got this is the colour schemes that they've actually got, the music themes if they're being played. They've got Star Chaser ships, so selection of versatile ships designed to protect and spread influence. That's an unusual one for them to go with. I might change that. I don't think we need those. Let's just go with just standard aggressive warships. That'll do us, I think. Let's just go with that one for them. So we'll make that what they end up having. Fleets-wise, there's nothing to really choose in here, just the colour schemes. I'll just leave that one where that is. And technologies, it's going to go with the standard technology tree. So the AI, basically the generation of players for the game is incredibly deep, and I can't stress enough how important these two here are. And if we go back to the biology, if we put them in our game as an AI player, they will then play merciless and aggressive. These are not going to be friendly at all, and so I think we add them in. So I think we'll actually just go and save the civilization. So we'll sort of save them in. I won't play as them just because it's going to be too difficult to actually to play as them, simply because of their lack of skills. They're going to be ravenous and won't need to sort of build up much on their homeworlds to be able to dominate. But that's going to be a little bit. We'll pop them into our game anyway. But we are playing as this Helix Reclaimer Syndicate, where we've got a culture. Actually, you see their cultural focus is also traditionalism, which is unusual. I thought nihilism would have been the better choice. I might just quickly edit this. So I'm just going to edit that one, and cultural focus. It's got the cultural focus there of totalitarianism, which is I'm happy with as well. But nihilism is probably going to be the better option there. I'll just go and save that again. Yeah, it's there now. We might have a quick look at ours as well. Look, we've got traditionalism there. Might just check that is actually. It looks like this may be a bit of a bug. Yes, see the cultural focus there. It's put totalitarianism in as based on what we had done, which I thought that's what we had done. Traditionalism is down the bottom here. I actually don't mind traditionalism for our group. What it does do is it then splits off into. It allows us choice for the actual different government types, and so I'm thinking we actually push it that way. I've got a funny feeling that's like it's funny that it's come through with traditionalism each time. I think that's a bug, so that should be fixed, I would guess. So we'll just go and save the civilization. This way we are forcing traditionalism into what we actually have. So that's going to be okay. I just wanted to make sure that was the case, because that certainly looked like it was wrong in both cases. So anyway, let's just go next. So we're going to be choosing this one through here. This one is mainly, I've made this one fairly simple to play because of the different bonuses that we have. It's going to be quite human. The citizens that we actually have, again, if I just go to edit, I've got the same thing. So I've got with humanoids in through here. And the humanoids, if we have a look at the choose species and look at the humanoids, they've got, again, nothing much in through there. The humans themselves have got a bonus there of, in fact, maybe we'd make it so that we end up with these social bonuses. Let's make it easier for ourselves. So you can see actually these ones here have got an approval of 50%. Relative expectations, modifying the expectations of each citizen for this species on top of natural variation. If you have a look at a few of the others as an example of how that one then works, they've got no expectation through there. So humanoids, the relative expectations isn't too bad. The relative expectations here for humans means that they do require a better quality planet. I think I'll just keep it on humanoids. We've got a whole variant group in through here of different types of humanoid species that can then sort of be part of our group. Chris is saying, what's the weather like in Aussie land? It's 30 degrees Celsius here in Essex, England, so too hot to play games, better to watch them. It's still cold, very cold actually. We're heading into our considered to be the coldest month, certainly for swimming, because I swim at the beach every day, and it's well, not every day, every second day really, but it's actually it's now getting pretty cold in the water, and so it's 16 degrees. We're getting up to about 21, 22, 23 during the day, but the night time is down to about 12 degrees Celsius, well, like early in the morning, between 10 and 12, which is cold for me. And also in August we end up with these westerly winds which blow in off the inland, and they're freezing winds. So even though the temperatures aren't too bad, the winds are freezing. Anyway, let's continue on. We'll just go through. There we go. So I'm saying, as a Finn, that ain't cold at all. It is when you're going for a swim. When you're at the beach. It is cold at the moment, and it's going to be cold for the next month. Right, anyway, we'll just go with humanoids. The reason that is we don't have the same problem with expectations as such with the actual species. So I'll just go with that one, even though we don't have the social increase. So we'll just go and just go back out again and just make sure we've got humanoids there. But again, the abilities that we're choosing are fairly simple. So we've just got warriors with beam attacks, kinetic attacks, and missile attacks, so 10%, and also resistances. So we end up with a little bit more through there. Ignore 10% of all damage done to their ships. All weapons do 10% more damage. So this is actually a nice little bonus that we end up having just for our ships. They're going to be a little bit of strength, and then experience. We receive more experience on the actual ships themselves when they're doing things. So we're going to be wanting to go and get like commander ships as much as we can. So we're going to the experience will. These are not in themselves going to change the game much. So that's why I would like to choose those particular ones for this particular run that we're doing. We are brutal, so we're going to get soldiering going up. So we're going to be able to do planetary invasions a little bit more easily. We have chosen fast as well, and through here with just one extra move, and intimidating back in through here as well. So for diplomacy, we can actually use intimidation to force our way, to force our will on others. So that will be who we are. But I think playing as a traditionalist, it allows us to meander government-wise. So anyway, let's just go back and go back out again. Next, now this is where we had all the problems yesterday. all the problems that like in the world. I could not roll a viable system. I'm now going to go and show you how you can choose and pick that right from the very, very start. I found that this was actually a good start for me, was to have star frequency just occasional, so not too many stars. Habitable planets were going to be common, and extreme, and like I'll just leave everything else sort of where we had it there yesterday. So it's still going to be a binary sector. One thing I did also do was cluster the actual planets, the stars in the sectors, and the galaxy size is going to be small. So this means we're not going to be having a massive game. Oh, Sev is saying, didn't we agree yesterday didn't happen? Yes, it didn't happen at all. No, nothing to see here. I will just address it. I've hidden that video for the simple reason I couldn't get a start. So anyway, this is the galaxy. We've got procedural galaxy there. I don't know what these are, actually. This looks like it's new. I haven't seen these before. So that's just fully procedural. Compass rose. I wonder what that does. Oh, okay. So this is actually, these are the new things, actually, in version 4.0 that have come through. Yin and yang. a compact two-player galaxy inspired by the yin-yang symbol with opposing starts separated by sweeping. So these are curated. So a sprawling six-player galaxy inspired by the 20-sided dice. Okay, interesting. Do you want to have a look at one of these? Let's have a look at what a yin-yang is. Does it remember what I had chosen? I just want to make sure that I end up with occasional common. I think it will. I think if we go back into yin-yang, let's just have a quick look at this, and I'll show you a couple of little cheats. Only got one player to go up against. Let's go and just make that a random player. So it's a 1 versus 1. So this is a nice little way to look at the game, actually. I think we'll still get random placement. Maybe we don't, actually. No, probably we don't. We probably end up starting with... so this one, if you're going to be playing this yin-yang, I will be showing some spoilers here. I won't go into too much detail, but there will be some... let's just go back into here. Got our little faction there. So this is an interesting start here. We've actually got like a preset world with some Durantium. This is not the world that we have when we start a random game. This is a little cluster in through here. If I just go into... So we've got a bit of a divide running through this other side. If I go into the fog of war, like turn off the fog of war. So I'm just going to go and press tilde. And then just go into FOWNC, just to, in fact, I can still have contact, but I'll just go NC, just because it's a good habit to be in. And so that then shows us all the different bits and pieces. Oh, there we go, we've got Nebula all the way through. So this is actually an actual purpose-built grouping in through this other side. So we've got Drengia back in through this other side as well, on that side of the divide. We're on this side. You can see how many different planets have been actually added in around the place. We've got class 30s, class 32, class 1. So there's and again, this is what I was looking for, a comfortable, viable start. Back over through there, there's a class 12. You can see there when it's just got a single circle like this, what that's sort of highlighting is that it's really just a low-level class planet. When you see another circle inside it, the relative size of the circle gives you an idea of the class of the planet. So this one here is only a class 12, so it's not great. Whereas these ones here with the big circle, class 28, they're amazing planets to get hold of. Anyway, the thing I did actually notice, if I just go back out again, I'll just go back to the main menu. So that's a tiny little map to play if you are just wanting, even if you're wanting to learn the game, it may be a good one to get used to as well. Actually, yeah, the curly the nebulas, it does form the sort of that yin-yang symbol. If we go into new game again, choose our character in through here, it has remembered the settings that we had for the procedural galaxy. And again, when I was not playing yesterday, it was we had a lot of trouble with this. But the important thing when we go in, if I just click on next, and do I add in? I think I won't add in the humans. Let's go and add in those space zombies that we had. So they'll be down the bottom here. Where are they? Not seeing them. There they are. So just throw them in. I'll leave it as a with 4 players with them actually in there as well. Bright is your difficulty level, so they end up with sort of like a bit of a bonus with what they end up sort of doing in through there. Do we choose something else as well? What else do we have in through here? We've got yeah, nothing much there. I think do we go back into one of the others? One of the other factions up. No, I think I'll just leave them as random. But let's make it so that we're a bit more compressed. By the way, when you're playing the game, don't feel that you need to... The game will sort of tell you what it thinks is a good balance for the game itself. And so that a good balance when it came in with the settings that we had were for us to have 3 AI versus us. You don't have to add everything in. You will get a more balanced game by going with what the suggestion is, which is... for us is 3. I'm going to still just add in 1 extra. And the reason that shouldn't really be a problem is that I've chosen to keep all of the AIs far apart. And that means that we should be hopefully sort of only have one other faction near us when we do get started, but let's just go with that one there. So let's now go and start the game, and I'll just go through. We'll do a couple of starts just so I can show you a few little bits and pieces, which I found extremely helpful in terms of being able to get a viable start in the game. And just in case I really screw up, I have saved a viable start, but we'll just see how we go. Now, I'm going to restart and just go Control N if I don't get what I need. So when I look at this one through here, I've got a couple of systems in amongst where we are. You'll see there the small little ones, the white ones in through here that are small. I can sort of almost assume that it's going to be it's going to be lucky if I even get one planet there, so I can ignore those. The reds, I'm most likely going to get some Durantium from those, so that's actually not too bad, or not most likely, but there's a chance I'll get Durantium, and I can get, let's just say, an average of up to say 3 planets might come from these red stars. Two, actually no, it might be between up from 0 to 2. So I don't expect to get very many planets in through there. Purples as well, I can only really expect to get like maybe 1 or 2 planets there as well. They're not going to be all that viable. Back over through here, I've got a whole lot of blues in through this other side. So the blues are also only 1 or 2. The things I'm looking for are the orange and the yellow stars. These here are likely to have a lot more planets around them. So when we see the sort of like these paler yellow stars, this is more likely to where we're going to get it. These two white stars here, very unlikely to actually have planets. So I can sort of ignore them. When you actually start a game, you do actually have access to this telescope takeover, which allows you to look at an area of the sky. I would suggest that you do this to see if the game is viable. Try to pick up 3 if you can. I can get 3 stars in there, one of them being white, which is not going to be all that helpful. That's not going to be helpful there. We should have control of that one. I can get a blue and an orange there. I can get 2 purples in through there. That's the only one that gives me 3, but it's a long way away from where we are. Back over here. So it's really just like, where am I going to go? I can get 3 there, like two blue stars and an orange star. Let's go with that one there. When I go and select it, you can see immediately there is actually this Paris 1 through here, class 25, but does require extreme colonization. If I go and click on the actual planets, sorry, the stars themselves, it does give me, so this is actually so this one here has also got extreme colonization required. And this one here, we've got nothing on this blue one, so no habitable planets around that one. We do actually have 1 dead planet. This one over through here has just got 1 habitable planet, and that's, which is, again, so that is not a great start for me because I didn't find a target straight away. So I'm just going to go Control N again. And actually, before I do that one, I can also then just tweak and see how many factions started off in this little cluster with us. So let's just go back in and press the tilde key. FOWNC is the cheat command, and I can then sort of see what's going on. I can then sort of look for other factions. There we go. So we've got a faction down in through here. So this one here is a major world. This is a Prolina Prime. So that's going to be the other one of the other factions that we then end up having. Back over here, we end up with a minor world. So that's actually that's fine. We've got one of those. So for us, that was actually not a bad start. It really ended up with 1 major in amongst us. And back over here, there'll be 3 majors. So we've got a major over there. Looks like a major in there as well. Major over there. And there's the zombies back over that other side. Actually, that might be a major there, actually. That's the zombies there. This here is a minor faction. Yeah, minor world there. You can sort of tell by the border, like they will come in with their own, if they've got a border around them, it means that that's a major faction. So 3 on the other cluster and only 1 for us. But you can see down through here, we do actually have some useful worlds. Like this one here, this is a, if I just go back into this particular star, so Faramir is a yellow star, and we've got 4. This one is like randomly has got 4 around it, so the yellow stars will most likely have it. Extreme colonization there, class 25 in there is good. a class 1 is poor there, and then a class 25 amazing there. So this one here has got 2 very, very good stars. About equidistance away from the other one, but we don't know that. This is all randomly generated. This one here has got class 18, which requires extreme colonization. Anyway, that's where we actually have a look at it. Okay, so Chris is saying regarding the game, do the governments like federations work like Stellaris as far as to say you build a multi-species empire, a bit like Star Trek, I guess? I think so, yeah, because the federations, everyone ends up with a say in the government. So in reality, the only like when you take over a world, you then have access to the citizens that were on that world, and so for them it will be that they want to try to sort of get those things happening. But you can sort of see in through here, like we do actually have a lot of these just randomly require extreme colonization, but it's not a bad, like the actual algorithm just to build the map is not terrible. So I'm going to keep on with this particular one. So if I just go back out again. Oh, by the way, if you are wondering how to get to those cheats, to actually be able to evaluate your settings, and I'm happy with the settings we've got, I'm just not happy with the start. So I want to make sure that I've got something viable inside the range of our ships, pretty much at the start. So I'm just going to go back out again for one little second. We're just going to go, and this is actually again in the wiki. It's giving you sort of. I think this is a bit inaccurate now, but it does give you a little bit of a clue as to what to evaluate with those colours. I'm just going to go into Steam and just show you very quickly if you are wanting to be able to do those fog of war type things and just to double check how things are working. Just go into my library, Gal Civ, and if I go into the actual properties, let's just right click, under the general tab, launch options, just type the word cheat in. This will then allow you to use the tilde key, the little curly hyphen key in the top left of your keyboard, to then open up the dialog for putting in commands. And if you just type the word help in those, you'll then be able to see them. Everything you sort of need. So for example, if I just go and press the tilde key, this then opens up. If I just type the word help, I can then see all the different commands. So there's different things like, for example, unlock. Now we did have some trouble with that one yesterday where it just didn't quite unlock all of the different texts. So I won't play that one, but there's a lot of stuff you can do in here if you're wanting to sort of tweak different things. There were certain things, sometimes the balance is a little bit off, and there was, I think, kill units. If I go help, this one can be a good one as well. Just have a look and see what this one does. So help kill units, kills X number of units, number parameters. Okay, that's not the one I'm looking for. If I just go back up again, there is something to essentially destroy, and I won't worry about it until we sort of see it, but sometimes you're going to end up with like something that spawns into the game that's just completely unbalanced in terms of, because it is a random game, and so there is a way of deleting a unit. Kill player is not what we want. I forget what it actually is, but there's a fair few that you can sort of see down in through here. There's the FOWNC back in through that other side, which just means that you've got no contact with the other species. Otherwise, you bounce into everything going on. Hi Dom, how you going? Half hour in and still restarting. Oh, not yeah. Well, I'm just really explaining at this stage. So so where we are. This for me is a viable start. Let's just go Control in. I'm now looking for very specific setups now that we know the colours of the stars near me, and I'm going to keep on restarting until I really hit the sweet spot of what I need. So I don't want to be travelling too far to get to those initial planets. Let's have a quick look and see. This one here, we've got, like, so you can see even with our starting borders. Now, we're going to be able to extend these out a little bit. So we're going to have access to all of these different things. We've got a whole lot of whites nearby, which aren't going to really be all that useful. We do actually have a blue there and a red there and a yellow there, which looks very, very interesting. We've got a couple of yellows down this way. This looks like a really good start, actually. I'm really happy with the overall look of this. So I think that we start with this one. And so let's now just go through, now that I'm sort of happy with the proximity of the stars near me and also with the colours of the stars, like the reds and the yellows. These yellows here look very, very viable for other things, and we've got other expansion into reds over through here. So I'm sort of ignoring the little white stars, just sort of almost filtering them out of my peripheral vision. So I've got some interesting stars to go and visit. I've got some really high potential stars down here as well to actually to be able to go in and settle. So when we start a game, you do actually have access to these executive orders. And there's one in here in particular that we want to be actually having a look at, which is going to be, as I said before, the telescope takeover. And you may even decide to redo like a game after you've done that. I'm just going to go, and the other consideration is that the other AI will be around in here somewhere, most likely on the other side. So do we waste this and look at this system here, or do we make use of it and try to find something really good down this way? Not so much that way, because I know I can just go down there and whatever we find is whatever we find. But there is some potential down in here. And I should be able to get to those two systems there. No point really looking back on the other side over here. But there's some good, like the enemy over there has got some good orange stars. They're going to have a lot of Durantium, I would think. All right, so even before we get started, let's just see if this is this will help us to sort of pick out what's going to happen. So we'll just go and choose this one. These use control as what they get. So 15 control to execute telescope takeovers. And so can I get 3? Not quite. I can get 2. I can't quite get the third one. I can get those 2 there. I can get those 3 there, which will then at least tell me if it's worth racing down there with stuff. The 2 yellow stars there. Was going to be, that should give us some good results. 2 yellow stars over here, a little bit further away. The orange and the yellow there as well. It's sort of interesting. I've only got 2 there. These are not real. I can just get those. I can get those 3 there, but that's too far away for our planning. I'm thinking we can go to this one anyway. So I think it's these 2 yellows, or even just this orange and this yellow here. Let's go and squeeze it so that we're just getting in the 2 systems, plus we're just going to get whatever's on this side of this particular yellow. I'm more likely to get what I need here. I'm going to do this just so I can actually get the yellow stars inside the actual telescope takeover. So let's go and do that. So this, again, is going to then sort of show me, we just miss out on getting the orange star there, but I do get hold of these stars. When I click on this one here, it will then show me, this one only got 1 star, only 1 planet here for this yellow star, and this one is a Class 22 amazing but barren world. So this is like rocks in space, but it's still actually Class 22. So there is a planet here, along with a dead planet, that's a dead planet there. So that's telling me, just from what we've looked at there, that we've actually got another planet which is most likely going to be in here somewhere. That is a Class 22. That's a great planet for us to go for. This one over here, we can see there's a couple of dead planets that we can sort of spot. And this one over through here doesn't have any. So we sort of, again, the RNG gods are against us again today by the looks of things. And then we did actually find another dead planet over back through here as well. So Class 0, which is a dead world. But we've now got, this one is a little bit too far away for us to go and grab, but we know that there's a good planet over there. If I get that, it then opens up all of this as well, so we can start to sort of extend our borders out. That's the first thing, is just to make sure, yes, it's viable. This one I think is going to be a good game. Let's just go back into our ships and start to sort of build things up. The next thing we can actually do with executive orders, so the control, we've now spent 15 of these. We're getting 0 per month, but that will change very, very soon. And so control is important to be able to use these executive orders, and we need to make the best use of this draft colonists. Now, it's going to affect our approval while we do this one. Every 12 turns, we can draft another free colonist, and we want to do that when we've got a game like this where we've got so many sort of yellow stars around us. So I'm just going to go and play that one now as well. I'll just go yes. And so we've now got 2 colony ships. the different colonists on board as well, we can actually have a look and see what they're like. So this one here, when I hover over, is pretty low skills all the way around. This is one we started with. Expectations are low at just 4. That can be important. And then on this new one over through here, this colonist in here has got very high expectations, unfortunately. And again, very, very low skill set. So this one's going to ultimately be a problem when we settle like an actual world that becomes a core world. So if I'm now in two minds as to what to do with her. I think what we'll do is we'll send this one across. So we'll just grab this is the DAS Hope. What's this one? The DAS New Refuge 1. So this is our starting colony ship. It's got a range out to here. Now, we can't quite move out to where we think this planet's going to be, but we'll get that one done fairly soon. We'll come back to look at that in just a minute. That's the range comes out from your centres of like where you've actually got colonies or outposts. So now let's just read a few more of the comments. So we've got we're in deep trouble saying, have they fixed the AI stacking or grouping its probes that make many useless, and the lack of governors once you spread out in the huge galaxy? Also, when I was taking planets, why do they kill the governor? Is it the governor? Usually, if the governor is very is poor, like that may be what it is, but I'm not sure if that's what you mean. I was disappointed with the AI not building carriers, even after move 160, allowing me to crush it. Oh, okay, yeah, look, the specifics there I really can't really answer, to be honest, sorry. Anyway, we'll continue on. So, yeah, in that sort of sense, I'm finding that I did test the AI looking after worlds for me, and I was happy with what they were building. I thought it was a good way to actually to be able to see what the AI does do. But I don't know, you're mentioning there about massive games. I don't know. I don't play on huge galaxies. I only ever play on small galaxies. So I cannot answer that, sorry. Hi, Avonus. So Avalonus, there we go. Sorry, I always miss the words. So in this case, we need to extend out this border with the ships. With the probe, we don't have the same problem. Like the probe here can go anywhere. And I like this little, this means it's got there's no constraints. There's another whole sector somewhere else that we don't actually know where that is. So we'll have to go and find that one. So ideally I want to be capturing borders, and sort of extending my way around the actual location. So for this probe, I'm probably going to end up having it, I think I might just wing this with a colony ship and assume I'm going to be able to pick something up in these two yellows. I've got the blue over through here. I've got a blue and a purple out this way. I'm thinking we go with the probe, maybe sort of move up past this white, which is unlikely to have anything of value. But let's just move that one off now. These also move further, and you do get a bonus to your movement when you start inside your border. Just leave that one there, but we will skip past this particular one. Now, the flagship that we have, which is underneath this one over through here, so we've got like two ships at this location. The probe, we do actually have some artifacts. I will just let it do its own thing. So I'm just going to tell it to go off and survey. So we'll just go and it'll just go and sort of randomly now look for space junk and just process it. We still just leaves these last two. Now this one also has the same constraints with the actual, as we sort of get in other planets, we're going to be able to then do other things. So what we need to do is we need to be able to extend our range to be able to settle in that new U-Butte place that we did find. To do that, we need to actually have, if I just go and grab these again so we can see the problem we have. So we need to get this one out a little distance, and for that we're going to need leaders to be able to extend the range for us. To get leaders, we need to have, this is the government tab, and so if I unlock by completing the Colonial Leadership Council improvement on your home planet. So to be able to get into the government system and actually look at the leaders, I need to actually have a special building built on my home world. So it is, and I'll just have a quick look in there. It's unlocked by completing the Colonial Leadership Council. If I just go and click on this one, so I'll try to do this sequentially so you can see what's going on here. So Gorgon Helix, our homeworld. If I just double click it, we then come into the actual homeworld. It's already got in the build queue a colonial leadership council there. So this is actually just a civilization achievement. It's not a building on here. It is just something that is already automatically queued up for us. And so this one here is going to then give me a population cap of +2, a construction cost of -3, and maximum enact policies of +1. But it does unlock the government screen, and that's the all-important thing we want to do right from the very, very start. I don't want to waste 2 turns while this is built. In fact, it'll go to 1 turn once we start to develop the city up, or to develop the actual location up. But in this case, we've got. I'll just go through the different things that we can see through here. So our governor is Archon Vale Sunderhart. You're going to always start off with your best, like your actual character will be the one that is in charge of your homeworld. You can see that you can automate most of colonies except for your homeworld. So you can't actually do your civilization. You have to play this planet. You can automate all the other planets. So you can sort of just have all of them with a governor who looks after them. There's also different styles of planets as well, and we'll talk about that when we get into the actual game itself. Down through here, we've got our citizens. Actually, this is our status report where we've got 10% pollution. This will then impact our growth, so reduces growth and also reduces food, but also does impact their happiness. So pollution is a big thing that we need to, playing with humanoids, we have to be careful. Those zombies we created don't have the same problem. They don't care about pollution. We've got a fairly high crime at 12%. So crime reduces the income of your colony, as well as makes it more likely to produce new citizens as criminals. So we may have citizen criminals down through there. The approval is only 45%, and we can see down through there that most of them are sort of running at around about 55%, and we've got one there at 36 and one at 27. These are the 5 citizens that we see down through here. So this is important for us to then try to go and manage. So getting approval up will be important. So, and again, the tooltips are good with this. It says the approval is a measure of how your citizens view your government. It can be affected by your tax rate, ideology, crime, and much more. So different species have different motivations. So check out your citizens to see what is liked and disliked. Your planet's approval is the average approval of all the citizens on that planet. So again, this is why when we actually have a high expectation colonist, and then we make an actual a special planet with them, it cannot be the best thing because the approval their expectations will be too high. And we'll have a look at why Lyra and Thane are so negative at this point in time. We'll look at that in just a minute. And so we also then have a planetary defense there. This is really just going to be a factor of what we end up having on the planet. Don't really need to worry about that one so much. That will change over time. But we've got a very strong planet here. All the homeworlds have got like a very high soldiering number, which makes them very hard to take over. Now, the citizens themselves, you can see we've got 5 of 3. We only have a base, we can only actually have 3 on this particular planet at this point in time. And so we're losing citizens. We're losing 1 per month. So we need to stop that straight away. And you can see down through here, the growth per month is negative 9.95. There's 5 humanoids. Pollution is giving us a negative 10%, and so the growth threshold there is is heading in the negatives essentially. So growth comes from non-synthetic citizens on your world. So if we had robots, that wouldn't be affected by it. Robots are handled a different way, which is why I love playing as robots, but they're not good to show the game off with because they're so uniquely different in the game. So planetary improvements in citizen roles can be leveraged to increase growth. However, growth can also be significantly decreased on worlds with high pollution. So again, pollution is important for us to sort of not have that one through there. The citizens themselves, if we have a look and hover over these, and these all do bonus things on our worlds, and so we can start to manage these, but probably not so much at the moment. So you can see down through here, this is Seren Draxel is the citizen name. Planetary defenses is +3. Gross income is +2%. So he's just a standard citizen. So that's what his actual role is. And so we can, as we have a bit of a look at this, his bonuses. He takes 1 food. He's got +1 growth in through there. Crime, he's got 3%. He's a criminal. You can sort of see down the bottom through there. If I go and hover if I go and cross shift, I can then sort of hover over these. So when we have a look at we've got the crime in through here at 3%, influence of 0.5%. This is going to then sort of impact the influence around our, to sort of claim territories around the planet itself. Low intelligence, low social skills, low diligence, low resolve, low expectations though. So expectations modify the approval of a citizen. Citizens with high expectations will need entertainment and luxury resources, while those with low expectations much easier to keep happy. We saw with the humans as such, they had a -5 for meaning that it's +5 for expectations essentially. So the humans I think end up being much more where they expect a lot. Now, as you run through the game, initially your first citizens typically don't have very high expectations, but that will change over the course of the game, so just be aware of that. This one's a nihilist as well, so it actually does. So believe in the rejection of and denial of inherent meaning and value in life, causing pain in others is a reward. This one's also a criminal, so increases the crime on the planet, but at least they don't complain about the crime rate as much. And then this one's part of this is a new thing in the game, the Founders Frontier League. This is the stewards of heritage and order. They hold that the institutions proven by time are worth defending against every passing fashion. There we go. So diverse and adaptable here. Humanoids are capable of thriving. So that's a basic humanoid thing. So these are just citizens. So citizens are the default non-specialized beings that inhabit the planet. If I can actually go and change those, and we're lucky actually. We've got 2 citizens that are actually specialists. So we've got 3 of these guys. Now this one here is also pretty low quality, 2, 1, 4, 2, and then 4 expectations. This here is Lyra. Now Lyra, when we had a look at the through here, is actually the one that's got 27%, but she's a specialist. Not very intelligent though, unfortunately. So she's going to be doing an extra bit of research there. Expectations +5, unfortunately. This is the trouble that we end up having. So she's got extremely high expectations there of 10 down the bottom there. So yeah, which is our problem. So she's sort of more, I guess, more of a noble type person. She's progressive, so she sort of is wanting to, sort of have things go. She's also a criminal. What's this guy? Are they all criminals? Yeah, this one's a criminal as well. He's a pacifist, progressivist, but low expectations. This is Ruvar. Just this one here has got medium expectations back and through there. Again, very low skill sets. Pacifist. And you see that they're all part of different parties, which we'll have a look at in just a minute as well. This one's an individualist, again, low expectations. This one here is a manufacturing, like this one's a worker. And so workers provide manufacturing based on their diligence. And so again, the diligence here, 4 is actually okay. And so he is actually giving us an 8% manufacturing boost to the planet. She, with only an intelligence level of 1, the scientists provide research based on their intelligence. They can also boost the experience gained by survey ships that they crew. She's someone that we probably want to get off planet, to be honest. So she's just, with her high expectations, she's going to be a bit of a problem to our overall. She's going to change the approval on the world and make it difficult for us. To change our tax rates, we also then need to have the government. So let's go and tweak this one now, and we'll come back to this world and then talk more about the actual world. This is actually the output, the planetary outputs. The mineral input from the planet itself is 5. The technology input is 3. This is actually very important when we talk about other planets coming in. The wealth input there is 5 as well. The farming input is 8. That will then impact food. So food here is, we've got the +8 farming impact coming in, for example. Pollution is reducing that by 10% because we've got 10% pollution, which gives us a 7.2. We've got 5 citizens, so they chew up 5 of those, which means that we're left with 2 food in total everywhere. That will change again pretty easily initially in the game. And so if we have a look at the build queue, if we go and rush this particular building, I can then unlock the government building. So we've now unlocked the government building. Didn't change anything on the actual planet except giving us the boost that we needed to just have this population cap. So this one here, we're no longer, we will get another citizen in 12 months. So we now have positive growth because we actually have, the population cap has now gone up slightly. We'll come back and look at the screen in just a minute. So let's just go and click on done. But what that's now done, by rushing that one, we now end up with the government screen back and down through here. So I would always suggest that you do rush that whenever you play the game. Just rush that first thing, come into your government screen, because you can tweak all sorts of things in here. Now, we saw that our approval overall was quite low. We don't have any tax income coming in, or very little. I can just tweak this anyway and just make it so that we go up to maybe aiming for about 60% with these types of groups. If we were playing as those zombies, their approval wouldn't be a problem, and we could actually increase the tax rate if we wanted to. But in this case, the growth, so approval is a measure of how your citizens view your government. It can be affected by your tax, ideology, and crime. And so your planet's approval is the average approval of all the planets on the citizens on the planet. It is important to keep that for humanoids at a reasonable level. That'll just do for now. We are now going backwards a little bit, but that will change very soon. This gives us a summary of everything that we're actually doing. So we're only taxing everything at 22%, which means that when we have the gross income here of like 5.4, we're only taxing it at 22% of that. So that's what we end up having to spend. There's 1.5 in ship maintenance that we're paying at this stage. Excuse me, which gives me the negative 0.31, which we saw there up the top here. That's where that one's kicking in. So we can see all the expenses in through this on the screen. Civilization, their government type is just colonial. We'll have a look at the governments in just a minute. This is actually new in the DLC. 1 colony, 5 citizens, and average loyalty there not applicable at this stage. Colony outputs, this is a summary of all of the different colonies. We've only got 1, but manufacturing is lowish down through here. So we need to sort of be addressing manufacturing. We need to be addressing research. Food will look after itself. Now we have these policies, now that we've got the screen open. And so enacted policies, so if we were to colonise the galaxy, we need to inspire our citizens. So this is coerced colonisation. Cultural, hang on, I don't want to do that one just yet. I can just pull these out. So as I go back through these, the coerced colonisation is going to give me a growth of 100% and approval of minus 10%. In one sense, to get the high growth is actually something that would be very, very desirable. But the approval initially, I don't want to be fiddling about with even less approval. Cultural patronage, this one here gives me culture points per month of +1. This will then allow us to get different unlocks. That could be viable as well. There's no negatives with that. Heart of the Empire is also one with no negatives. It gives me gross income of +25% and influence growth of +10% as well. And then land exploitation, the pollution goes up by 30%, but the gross income goes up by +5. Again, I don't really want to do that one playing as humans. If I was playing as the zombies, yeah, not a problem, because pollution doesn't worry us. So that's an easy one to get money if pollution isn't a concern. But for us, it's a major concern on our worlds. So we have to play to the people that we have on our worlds, so basically with these. So Heart of the Empire is often what I will do. Coerced colonisation is something that I do want to be getting, but it's going to then affect the... So if I go and throw that one in there, for example, it goes from 60 to 50, but the growth rate on the planet goes up by 100%. If I go with cultural patronage, and I can change this at any time as well, the culture points per month is going to give me, allow me to spend to get bonuses very, very quickly, which is this... This is cultural progression down through here. I'll show you that in just a minute, actually. But I'll just put Heart of the Empire in there for now. Throw that one in there, just because it does give us that little bit of gross income back in through this other side. So that's gone up a little bit. This has gone up a little bit. We're almost level now, just with that one there. Doesn't do much initially. I am tempted to go and get this one here, to be honest, just to get the extra growth. Yeah, it's a tricky one, actually. Again, these are all quite unique with what they do. So land exploitation, definitely don't want that. Culture points per month as well is actually pretty good. I might even throw that one in because it's hardly making any difference here. So let's go with that one there, just so we can start to spend more. Right, that's government. Now we have leaders, and this is always this can be wildly different depending on who you're playing as. So we end up with a very good leader here. very high diligence, very high social, and very high intelligence. So this is somebody that's actually that is very, very good. Now the leaders have got a whole lot of different things as well that they end up doing as well. So this is actually so this is Croven Delsar. These are the actual people that we end up using in the game itself for all sorts of different roles. And so it depends on, again, those 5 traits that they have. Or it's 4 traits plus loyalty. Loyalty is important. If I just press Shift again, I can then just come back through. So intelligence is for research and for Minister of Technology, etc. Social skills is for approval. So if we have somebody with high social skills, that's going to be valuable. Diligence is for, this is mainly for, we need a high diligence to be able to reach those worlds, for example. This is actually someone that can actually do some good stuff right from the very, very start. Resolve is more about combat. So a commander. Loyalty is important-ish. Not critical. Loyalty of a leader is the opinion of you. A leader with a loyalty below 30 is at risk of resigning or attempting to undermine you. A leader with an extremely high loyalty may offer additional support and help. 92 is extremely high. That's actually great. They also have these other little traits in through here. So Reincarnated Hero, this one believes that they are the reincarnation of a legendary hero. She is very good, I've got to say. And so she's actually part of a group called the Founders Frontier League, is the group. So these are stewards of heritage and order. So every game that you now play will actually have, thanks for the subscription there, Began, that's much appreciated. Every game that you play will then now actually have a group of parties that they're all going to be part of. We'll have a look at that in just a minute, but this is actually now something that's a fairly important aspect of the game, which has just come in recently, like with this version 4.0, I think. So we've got this guy, so she's 92 running through there, which is very, very loyal. She can be placed into any of these 3 slots, not so much this one here. When we have a look at this one's also very high diligence. This one here is shadowphobic, so dark events from yesteryears make them wary of dimly lit places, casting shadows on their decisions. So when events come up, this will then have a play on Draven if he's actually around. Then we've got brainwashed cultists, so formerly brainwashed by religious cultists. And this one here is part of the Vanguard Directorate, which is actually I might just show the parties now. So the Vanguard Directorate through there, we've got no leaders or no people actually in that particular one. So sweep aside obstacles for a stronger future. So this one here is helps with research. We've got the Frontier Defence League. So this one here has got just two of our citizens in it. So Ruvak, and through here is so this one actually, where is she? So I'm not sure where the others actually are. We've got the Production Supremacy block. Only one of the actual citizens are in through that side as well. That's an individualist. Yeah, that was right. This one here was yeah, these are actually on the world. What was she? Yeah, she's our scientist, I think. No, she's not. Where's our scientist? I thought the scientist would be further back over. And then we actually have the Founders Frontier League in through here, where most of the people are actually in through here. This one's got overall a low approval, and so per colony gives. So as we get more colonies, it's then going to sort of help with the influence back in through there. This one here is more about income. This one's more about manufacturing. This one's more about research in through there. So these are the various parties that we sort of seem to have. It's been playing saying in the government screen in the menu on the right under institutions, any chance you could explain how that works? I'm not 100% on how that one works. These, what you can do is I can grab her, for example, and give a bonus. So these are like slow growth bonuses to what you then end up doing, which again, this is new in the game. So these are federal institutions. And so the Academy is going to boost research. The Forge is going to then be boosting manufacturing. This one here is the Athenaeum is going to be influence growth. Military down through here with the Arsenal and the Exchange. And so if I go and grab an assigned leader, depending on sort of what they have, these are all currently at level 0. I can move her into, for example, if I'm wanting to sort of try to give a bit of a boost to research. I don't think it'll show much initially, but if I go and throw her in there, I can assign her to that particular one, and this will then push the research overall. For 12 months, she'll then sort of be working away at that one. I don't think her skill set has any bearing at all. Like if we go into the Forge, it's still, that's this 13 months, so yeah, it does have a bearing, 17 months for that one. the Arsenal, 20 months for that one, and 13 months for the exchange there. So I think her skill set does have a bearing on what does go on. I can move her out of there. We don't have to do that. But that's the so that's the institutions that we actually have in through there. So yeah, the seat of research and discovery where new knowledge is charted. So we don't want to do this initially, just because we've got other things that are more important for our leaders to do. So that's a sort of more like a mid-game type thing. Yeah, we've got the, actually if we go and have a look at that again, someone was just saying have a look at the bonuses, next level effect, level 1, research plus 5%. So it's a global bonus, yeah, it's global across the whole empire. So it's worth doing eventually, but just only when you've got the leaders to do it. Parties we've spoken a little bit about as to what the expectations are there. Initially, this political party is the one that's dominating. Commanders will ultimately then get special ships, which we can't unlock. It's always worth seeing what you need in terms of tech and where that is in the tech tree, which we'll have a look at in just a minute. Governors are on special worlds. Again, we don't need those just yet, so we'll just leave. We've just got our one core world, so Gorgon Helix. Diplomats, we like eventually we can sort of assign diplomats to help us sort of smooth out different discussions. This is where we want to be now. So we've gone from government to leaders. We've had a look at only one of our leaders. We've got a high, wow, 13 there. Okay, this one's got 18 months remaining. This one's got 12 months remaining before they leave. 13 is extremely high. So she is a secret guardian. Yeah, plus 10% tourism when appointed. Brilliant. Plus 5 intelligence. She costs a hell of a lot. We've got 1,500 to spend. I think I'll still throw her in. She's just a bit too good to not get her. So we'll grab her. And I also don't mind this one with the high diligence. And then we can use her for other things. You can see there that she's got the best social skills. But that 13 is very, very good. And so what I'm trying to do here is trying to figure out who can I put in. So I've got, for example, this Minister of Technology. So it's an additional technology slot, which is really important. We get that right from the very, very start of the game. I'll show you what that is as well. If I just go back out and click on Done. If I go into Research, now it's going to always choose something. So we need to assign a technology leader to unlock this particular one through here. So we don't get, and these three that are presented here for us are always give us a negative 50% research bonus. We get it at half price. So I want to have 3 to choose from, not just 2. I'm just going to click on Done. It'll just choose the Universal Translator, but we can always come back in before the end of the turn. So if we go back into Government again, and then go back to the Ministers, and put someone in charge of this particular one. Now, this one here, the Minister of Technology is going to ultimately get a bonus from the intelligence, so which would make sense. So the intelligence boost of 13 in through here is going to give me a 13% increase in research, and we get the +1 random tech slots. And so if I just go and click on Done there for a second, go back into the Universal Translator, I now actually have Universal Translator, armed shuttles, and space war tactics. And so these through here, like depending on what I want to go and get, we've got little advisors as well. Like these aren't leaders, but they're just advisors. And so the military advisor recommends that we get space war tactics, which will unlock the frigate. No one's advising us we get the armed shuttles, provides 2 free warships. But the Universal Translator is from the research advisor. Now, these are all the different technologies we can currently choose from. So I can choose these and get these at half the rate of these. So these, if I go and I can still choose these from back over through here to be the ones that we go for, but we don't get this random sort of 50% off type thing. So if I go to the Tech Navigator, this is important to sort of try to effect again. I'm just going to go click on Done, go back into the government buildings. If we go back to Commanders, I'll be wanting to unlock some of these ships fairly early. So I've got the Endless Zeros in through here. This one requires subspace frequency systems, so that's something we can then aim for. This one here is Emissaries tech required. This one here is subspace frequency systems again as well. So we can get both of those once we get that tech. This one's interstellar cabinet tech required. These will become more difficult. Interstellar cabinet, sovereign immunity tech, and then this one is also sovereign immunity. So these big ships at the back here are going to be two. I won't look at those, but let's have a look at these. Look for subspace frequency and also for the emissaries. So if we just go with those there, interstellar cabinet, I think will be after the emissaries anyway. I'm imagining that's going to be in the same area. I'm going to click on done. Going to go back into research. Instead of looking at this screen, I can then go to the tech navigator. And so if I can find those particular locations, so there was, what was it called? It was something frequencies, subspace frequency systems. So if I go and actually try to find that one, where is that one? Is it going to show it? It's not going to highlight it. Come on. Why is it not showing it? It's not going there. I'll just go back, go to the technology library, and just do a search for this one through here. So we've got the subspace frequency systems, which is here. So this one here, to get that one would, she's not going to show us where that is. If we go back to the, how do I do this one? If we just go back out again. Still got to find it in here. Should be in here. There it is there. I don't know why it's actually, see now it's finding it on that screen. If I go to shield frequency modulation, that'll be under defense. Yeah, now it'll zip to it. Okay, so we have to have this open. That's actually a bit annoying. Actually, I would have assumed that it would have actually. So if I go anywhere on the tech tree, and then click on that particular one, it'll take me back there. But I've got to have this one open, so I've got to know where they're coming from, which is not great actually. That should be improved. So you can actually then go to wherever you need to go for it. But that one is, we've got governance, we've got the universal translator, and literally that's the one after universal translator. So the universal translator is a good one for us to go and get, so we can open up those different, it also adds a flagship to our fleet, which would be good to get early. So this might be something we aim for to get fairly quickly with the way that we're sort of moving. So universal translator works well there. The other one that we had was emissaries, which is this one through here. So, and then there was also the other one where we had interstellar cabinet. So they're ones we can get fairly early if we just choose this governance route. So these are the different areas we have. We've got engineering, which like things like asteroid mining, for example. So we already have these, like basic engineering star bases, but we're up to asteroid mining here. You can sort of see that that's going to cost 25. These ones we've already got. That's going to be important to us, I think. Science, back and through here again. Got the Imperial Doctrine, back and through this other side, etc., etc. But at least we sort of know where we want to be heading. But it is a good idea to have a clue as to where you're going in the tech tree. It's a big tech tree. So we'll just go for the universal translator. And so I will click on done. I'm happy with that choice. So that's not really a big problem. Back into our leaders. So we've done one minister now of technology. The Minister of Exploration, this one here, increases the moves and range based on the leader's diligence. Now she's got diligence of 8. If we go back to other leaders, she's okay. He's got high diligence there of 9. This will give me one extra hex that I can then move, and sometimes that can make all the difference. I think I spend the money here, throw him in there. These are fairly expensive. We're down to 500 now, unfortunately. So I'm going to invest in the leaders. I'm going to move him into that role there. And what I might do is because I don't have a role for her to do anything, and she's actually good, I will actually put her into the institution now. And I can just pop that one into the academy. So I'll leave her there until we have another need for her. But I can always move her out of there. So we'll just go and place her in the institution there. All right, the other thing that's new in the game, which we haven't really sort of played with, is the change government. Now, to do these, we've got the colonial charter. If you don't get the the Federations and Empires DLC, you'll only have the colonial charter all the way through, which is fine. Then you've got things like Federation unlocks in the egalitarian ideology tree. So this one here is, again, if we're looking, when we did have a quick look before at the Altarians, I think it was, the faction, they would sort of be locked into going for Federation. So some of the groups, there's been people actually sort of saying that they don't like that you get locked into a particular style of government from the very, very start. That is if you are choosing. Now, we've purposely chosen Traditionalist, so we can go into any one of these essentially over time. So Federation promotes governors into presidents who lead member worlds and generate consensus through envoys. This is much more like diplomacy. Sorry, not diplomacy, like democracy. Empire is autocracy, so this is the totalitarian ideology tree. This is why I didn't want to go down the ideology of totalitarian. I wanted to keep it open so I could actually still meander around so that we have a bit of a choice as we play as to where we end up. And so, but if you're playing with as a fully totalitarian regime, you'll probably end up at Empire. We'll probably end up here as well anyway. But this one here, the Empire subjugate core worlds as vassal worlds, and so everything then comes back to the home world. So the home world becomes all important. Oligarchy back through here, this is more about money, so collecting holdings and collateral, and actually have the money sort of system coming back in. But these are unlocked. You can see unlocked in the individualism ideology tree. Then technocracy. This is the progressivism ideology tree. And so we can't do these just yet, but this is what will be coming later as we play the game. But just go back out again, and then go to the actual cultural progression. This is where this is actually then stored. Individualism. If we ended up going this way, we then have this one does give us the chance to then get oligarchy. So this one here is more about sort of creating money and self-reliance, etc. So oligarchy is unlocked at this point through here. Now I've chosen to get one extra culture point every turn. So we're going to be sort of getting out through this tree fairly quickly. Initially, totalitarianism, for that one there, it's got the Empire. Egalitarianism has got the Federation. Traditionals, which is what we're sort of more of, we've got an ideology discount here of 25%. This one we don't have any government types that come into this one. Progressivism unlocks the technocracy back in through there. So we can sort of go and do these different things. These also are impacted by different citizens that we end up having as well. We don't have anything showing up there. That will change over time, these discounts. Pacifism, nothing there. Nihilism, nothing. And collectivism. That will then change over the course of the game as different events appear. So we can make choices that push us in a certain direction. Again, it's very deep the way the game actually does go and do that one. Now we're in deep trouble. So you've got a lot of questions there. Yes, so Dom Casual saying colonising lesser quality planets can still be worthwhile. Yes, and some of them are very worthwhile. So we will have a look at that as well. So he's saying, can you now access the carrier module that gives 4 assault ships? So we've only gotten the option to build the 16 interceptor mod. I'm not sure actually. Again, I don't play deep enough into the game usually to actually sort of really have lots of carriers. Have the devs addressed scaling issues with pirates and other non-playable ships? I don't know. Again, I really can't answer that. I haven't played the game for a little while actually, but it's that's actually one of those things where if the pirates are too difficult at the start, I do cheat and destroy them. Just like if I don't believe that the balance of it is right, I just use the cheat to move my way through those. So Dom is saying pirates meant to be a nuisance, not a major threat. The AI doesn't rise up to prevent player victory, but they can actually be a position where they, not so much pirates, but there are some things in the game that end up just becoming way too powerful that you go up against. Anyway, let's continue on. So we'll just keep it going. So the oligarchy says Emerald Dragon. So anyway, we've got the different sides in through here as well. You can see down through here, like individualism, we've got 20% of our citizens have got that one. We can sort of start to see where things actually are with the different groups So we don't, even though we have a bonus here, we don't actually have any citizens with this ideology. So 40% actually in the progressivism aspect. Interesting. Anyway, there's lots and lots to do in these particular screens. Nothing for us to do just yet, but that's going to be coming up for the governments. Okay, so let's now just keep on going. We've sort of set up our initial areas fairly readily. The planet, let's now talk about the actual planet itself. So we'll go back in here and start to now build up the actual planet. This is the one planet that we have to look after ourselves. We can't have an advisor look after this one for us. So the initial thing we want to be doing is we have a capital city. The little number in the corner there shows you how long it's going to take to build. The first one here, the capital city, you can place wherever you like. So what it used to do in the game, and I'm glad that they've changed this, it used to place it somewhere that it thought you may like, but it was. But if you wanted to change it, you had to destroy it and then replace it. It was a free move, but if you didn't know to do that, it was. It sort of could get you a bit sort of stuck. Like for example, like if it had started over here or over here, it's viable because it gives +1 to population. Anything with a little house like this is going to be where we want to place this. So we can see down through here, the capital city gives me a lot of bonuses. So all these things we were a bit concerned about, like running out of population caps, we get +6 from this one. As you can sort of see halfway through it. Just press the shift again. So as we go through, it gives me extra research, manufacturing, farming will go up by +5. Tourism goes up a little bit, population cap by +6. The sensor range, so we can see further out into space. Whoops, hang on. Control per month. So the control per month, we're currently getting 0. We do need the control to do different things. Influence, they're +100. Income of +10. So the income of 0 that we've got at the moment will go to +10, and then we tax that at whatever the percentage was, 22%. So that's only really worth 2.5 billion or whatever it is. Culture points per month of +1. Now the bonus per level, once we level this thing up, we've got a gross income there of another +1, so we get an extra gross income in there. Remember, the tax rate defines how much we get to keep of that. And so the more approval we have, the higher we can tax our people. So, but in this case, we don't get it. There's no approval bonus there at all for us. And so approval is really important to us. So we've got the gross income in through there. It goes up by +1, and the population cap goes up by +1. That's probably more important than the income, to be honest, with what we end up having. But to do that one, we need to get the little houses will be the things that then give us a boost into here, because this one gives us a +1 to population. And adjacency level bonuses, hang on, that's a research district. If I just go back into there, this is +2 to all. Anything around it will actually increase their bonuses by +2. Now, we don't actually have any approval. Is it an approval? That's free to research back out there. I've got a couple of slots in there with houses. This one here is surrounded by different areas. This one here gives me +1 research, +1 research. Nothing there in the desert. +1 to manufacturing. It's not an amazing world, and these are sort of semi-random. We do actually have a nanite transmitter. So upgrade this artifact will unlock charges that will create a warship. That's actually not too bad. We won't do that initially, but I can actually go and click on that one and actually then have it so that it starts to fire things up. So that will then become part of the build queue, but we won't do that one just initially. So when I come back in, you see I get +1s in each of these different locations, but this one here gives me all of these different +2s all the way around it. So that, I think, is the better place to go. If there was something where we had like a big approval bonus somewhere, I probably would have a look at that. But let's just go into here. So that's the first one. It's a free build. And if I destroy it, like if I get rid of it, and I can then destroy the improvement, I can then place it again if I place it in the wrong position. So your initial building, like the capital cities when you create a world, are a free placement, which I think is quite nice. Now we've got a few different, our advisors are advising us to either go and get the this building here, which will then give me a capital mainframe. Actually, before we do that one, we can now see a few different things that have now changed with the actual game itself. we are getting that extra, like that, the 2.3, like, so that's exactly as we thought was going to happen there because of the taxation rate. Didn't really affect the approval. The approval was where we set the tax rate to get that approval. But a few little extra things that are now kicking back in. Tourism income's gone up a little bit. Control per month, we're now getting +1 of these per month. So there's a few little bits and pieces in through that side. Our citizens, we now have a population cap of 12. So the capital city is giving us +7. So 6 natively +1 from the bonus. So I hope that all makes sense with what's actually happening through there. The next thing that we want to be doing is building up around this now. We can go with the capital mainframe, which will cost me one of the two that we have. So we've only got 2 income coming in. So if I do that one, the maintenance cost there goes up by +1, and research does go up by 20%. So at the moment, we're only getting +3 research coming back into here, 3.3. If I make it like a, so we've got 3 plus the 13%, the progressive is giving me a +0.5 as well. Capital City giving me a flat base of +1. So I've got 4 essentially through there. The governor, why is it still only 3 then in that case? Oh, the total, I think, the total input. Total is there as 5. And then the approval is a multiplier. So the 65, it's almost worth changing our tax rate. If I just go and click on done again, just go back into government and have, so that we end up with really not making any money at all. If I can get up to 72, that takes it down to 0 basically. So we just get a very, very small amount. Let's take it up to 70%. That way we get more research overall. And so that multiplier, just going to click on done there. I think we can actually do that one from that side. Yeah, that's okay. So if we go back into this world again, we can now see that the research has gone up marginally. So it's the 5.2 we get from all of these different bonuses. So we've got the governor. We have that scientist who is useless, just giving us a +1. The governor is giving us 11%. Ministry of Technology. So the percentages hardly do anything at all. It's the base numbers that really have the big bearing on the numbers that are sort of generated in through here. So overall, we have a research there of 5.2. So we have 4 plus all these different percentage bonuses, and then times whatever the approval rate is. So about 4. So I do need to get my research up as high as I can get it, but do I want to really, just work on percentages, which is hardly going to be anything, and cost me maintenance, which means I'm going to be going backwards with that or not. And so putting that one in initially, I've got the bonus per level with research. It does give me +3 level to research around it, but it's there's no base number there, so it's not great. And when I have a look at the research districts, they also cost me maintenance. So gold is something I just don't have the luxury of really sort of going and doing. Other things we can build is this is the industrial centre. If we have a look at the manufacturing, so quite often you don't look at it in a deep dive like this, but in this case, again, with manufacturing, this is also multiplied by the approval on the actual planet itself. So we have 7.2 mineral input. This is actually the mineral input of the planet. By the way, that 3 that we saw there with research is coming from the planet itself. So the technological input. And this will actually often dictate, like technological input of 3 will usually mean that there's sort of like, we've got a barrier reef, we've got sort of a tundra. So you can sort of have a bit of a look, even if you haven't discovered a planet yet. The mineral input through here will mainly have like things like forests, etc. that will sort of show up. There's an influence there in the mountains, which won't really kick in. The wealth input, I'm not sort of seeing that so much with what's going on, but generally it'll just mean it's like a nice sort of world. Farming input is going to be mainly these sorts of like fertile plains around the place, and plains, not so much deserts. Deserts will have like a low farming input, and then the cultural input there of +9. So this then generates influence, and we do actually have like some mountains there, which will help a little bit with that as well. Back over through here, we've got a thriving reef, which also then gives me +3 to research. So going for research initially would be nice, except it's going to cost me money. Going for manufacturing is again only going to give me, what it's going to do here is it's going to give me, well, it's going to cost me maintenance, but it's also then going to have only percentage increases. So is it really worth getting percentage increases, increasing the pollution by 10? If I go and put it in there, like this one here is 3, for example, so the pollution here is going to go up with 5% per level. It's going to be another 15% pollution on the world. Even though that's sort of a good place for it, it's not really worth it for me, because the pollution is then going to impact the approval, which is then going to be a multiplier on the output anyway. So playing with humanoids can be a little bit tricky. We've then got these different, these are districts. Districts typically, except for the science ones, typically don't cost any income. These ones do increase pollution, but they do also increase manufacturing. So these can be viable. There's certain things that you can't build them on. This one here is the entertainment district, is going to give me 3% to approval, and anything near it is going to then also get better approval as well. Even though it doesn't really do much for me, I think that is still worth doing. And you can see I just get +2s all the way around here. So I'm going to just pop it in here, I think. I'll just go and place one over through here and get that one started. So that was also our cultural advisor had suggested that we go and get that one. This will then just give me a little bit of a boost along, which will then ultimately be a multiplier for all the other bits and pieces. So sort of where we are through there. All right. So, by the way, guys, if you do want to grab my attention, just do an @DasTactic. If you're in Twitch, it comes up with a bright red. If you're in YouTube, it does highlight a little bit in red. But if you do want to grab and ask me something, just do that, and I'll bounce across. Trying to sort of balance the pacing. After today, I'll be able to spend a lot more time looking at things. But this particular stream, I want to sort of try to rattle through, even though we haven't done much yet. We haven't even ended our first turn. But anyway, we've got this one through here. We also have available projects. This one here, we can provide 100 credits if we need to. It's going to cost me 250 points if manufacturing. I'm only getting 5 points coming in from the planet anyway, so that's going to take a lot of time to go and do. So we do end up with different projects over time, back in this other side. Eventually, it'll take a little bit of time to get this thing all built up. We're just going to have to plod along, I think, in this instance. I can, again, pay for these. So I can, if I had the money, I already rushed this month, so I can't actually do any more rushing. But I can rush stuff. And I think that's one of the keys to success in the game, is knowing what to rush. I'm just going to click on Done through here. So we still can't end our turn yet. We've still got a couple of ships that need to now run. Because we have the Minister of through of Exploration with the +9 ship range, now we have access to those different planets. So if we go and click on Done, so back to where we started, if I go and click one of these ships, this is their range now. So it's now gone from out here somewhere. We've now got the extra range coming out this other side. I think it might have been just close into here. So again, we know that there's a good planet in here. So let's just go and throw this one into this area. So it will start to move its way through. And this other one, I think we take a punt. We could take a punt here, but we can't get to here. We also have one more thing we can do with a ship. Like I can grab a ship through here, for example, and then use this to give them an extra +20 ship range if I sort of find something that I need to, that I might be interested in doing. We are moving out to here. It's a risky move. These two here, these two white stars are unlikely to have any planets that are useful. But I sort of want to go and try to claim territory as much as I can. If I grab that one there, you can see I can get up to here. I can't quite get up to there. I need to actually play that particular one. But I can now get to all of these. Let's go down and just see what we can find in through here. This one, of course, has got the pretty useless person on board with the high expectations. It's going to be a problem with that one there, the approval of that particular colonist. So we've got 12 turns now to wait until we get the next one of these draft colonists. The approval has gone down overall by doing that draft. The last thing we have to do is we actually have the idle shipyard. So the shipyard is here. And again, I've got different ships initially that I can go and build. This will then improve over time. Different advisors. So the cultural advisor recommends that we build a new colony ship. The research advisor is recommending we build a new probe. Both are good choices, to be honest. I probably will end up... Well, I'm thinking we're going to need a colony ship, so I'll go and build that ship. That's going to happen in 15 turns. The builder we're going to be needing as well. The probe, it would be handy to have. The builder we do want to get fairly early as well. We can possibly get that other ways. So, I'm saying, hi Daz, I just wanted to tell you that in the game Space Empires 4X, the reason that you went first all the time isn't a bug, it's the board game. Okay, if there's a tie, the bidding in the order, the person who went first last time goes for... Oh, okay, there we are. I didn't realise that. Okay, thanks for that. I had no idea. Okay, let's continue on. So I'll just build one to start with. Just click on done. This is when we actually go back into the worlds as well. Like we actually have manufacturing, but we also have there's manufacturing and military. If we find military buildings here, they actually all they do is actually just go out and boost the actual building in the shipyard. So the shipyard is like an orbital shipyard. Okay, so that's now got everything sort of set up. Let's just go across to the next screen here, or the next turn. And you can see the border, the actual border here is improving. Leader candidates have arrived, so we've got new leaders. If we wanted to have a look at those, is anyone of any use? Actually, no, that was probably from the previous turn, actually. Sorry, our economy is robust and growing. Not much, to be honest, anymore, and the military stands ready. Yep. So these are just the advisors that we actually have. A few different things. There's now a new mini-map system in through here as well, which we'll have a look at that a bit more deeply. Summaries as to what's happening with who we are. Planets, like a list of what's happening with the different planets in through that other side as well. Ships in through here, just going through them all. Shipyards and bases, we only got that one there, and then the monthly news. I'll just keep it on the advisors for now, and we'll just leave that one where that is. This just means that there's an idle ship, which is this guy in here. What I want to do is just sort of micro it through. Well, actually, we want to go past this particular planet. We can see that there's like a dead world there. And when we have a look, there's 3 dead worlds around this particular white star. Let's just keep on moving past. There is asteroids, and there's just Durantium there, actually, which is actually quite valuable. So, so got one more move. I'll just move to there. So this now run out of moves. I just want to see what's actually this star as well, see if we can sort of grab a colony ship out for that one. The Durantium would be useful to go and get. Oh, one thing I didn't do, which I probably should have had a look at, the last thing I should have done during my first turn, and I'll do it now, is when we click on a planet, we can go and do all the stuff on the inside of the planet, but we also have orbitals on the outside as well. In fact, it's interesting, you can see this actually has gone out a little bit. Our manufacturing has gone back down a little bit. Our approval has gone down. So overall, our approval has actually changed from 70% down to 60%. Anyway, that's sort of beside the point. In through here at Gordon Helix, we actually have a few different orbitals we can then go and add in. So build orbital improvements to upgrade the planet from orbit. Now we've got a recruiting station. This one is a space station dedicated to advertising the planet's fantastic qualities and opportunities. It's a colony unique planet. And so it's going to cost me 100 to go and get this one, but the growth on the planet's going to go up by +5. This will then allow me to then sort of get more colonists. So let's go and build that one. The next one across that we have, I can't actually do these. This one here we need Durantium for, that's why I remembered to do this. And then the colonization center also requires Durantium. So we'll end up with more of these different orbitals over time as we unlock them in the tech. And there's the orbital now for the recruitment drive to try to get the growth on the world up. So that essentially is going to give me a very high growth on the actual system itself. And so if we go back in again and have a look, it's now going to go from 12 months to 6 months to actually then go and get the new population. So we'll pick up a few more. So these guys are happy. these are not all that happy, these two here. Anyway, that's okay. We don't have to micromanage that just yet. I'm just going to click on done. All right, we want to save up our money mainly for colony ships, I think, ultimately. So we'll end our turn. These will now slow down a little bit as they sort of move through. We're going to just be managing this ship, so we want to just keep it going across. Can't quite see it. There's thulium there and space junk. Now, purple planets, again, thulium was what we sort of saw there in the wiki. That's you're likely to find that at those worlds. Okay, that's all fine. In our turn, sometimes I use this first ship as an explorer as well, but in this case, I haven't really worried about it so much. Okay, so we've got a few ships here which are getting close. That one there is a Class 0 dead world. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Now we're back here again. Damn it. I can't undo that either. I had that one selected. That's a shame. Oh, we wasted a turn there. Wasted 2 turns. This one here is still coming in. What I want to do here is just get in close enough to see the actual star itself, which is here. And we do actually have one planet, and this one here is a Class 3 planet. The interesting thing we're looking at next, if it's under a Class 10 really, is to have a look to see what the bonuses are. So we've got 1 manufacturing, 1 research, 2 wealth, and no food on this frozen world. So that one's of very limited value, and so this whole system is of limited value to me. So we'll now move across this other side over here and see what we can find. There it is there. So this is not something that we want. It doesn't give me enough of a bonus. This other one is still a little way away from where we think that other planet actually is. Now, if we end up again back over here where we don't have anything to go and grab, that's going to be a pain in the bum. We'll just wait and sort of see what actually does happen. Universal Translator is sort of now coming up a little bit, so 4 months before we get that one. And again, we'll just now make up for that lost time. I had that one selected and I made a mistake with that. You have enough culture points now to add a new trait to your civilization. So by pushing the extra cultural traits, we've been able to get to this one fairly quickly. So cultural progressiveness. Now the only one we can actually choose is traditionalist because we end up with this ideology discount. So I can get the sacred history, which will unlock the halls of tradition. It's going to cost me 9 culture points. I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to wait until we get other ones. So that's not going to really help me a lot. Some of them possibly will, but there's other things we can get, like Eureka, get plus 30 research. That would be a good one. This one here, we end up with 3 free colony ships. That's really, really good with a egalitarian. So we just need to wait a couple more turns. We can then go and get this one here, Iron Fist, plus 100 control. Again, we could be able to sort of spend that, but we're making 1 per turn at this stage. This one here gives me spawns a ship, the Independence. So some of these little early ones are actually not too bad. Kindness, plus 1 diplomacy. We've got 3 constructor ships join you. Again, that's a good one as well. Nihilism. We end up with 3 supply ships. And collectivism back down and through here. Plus 100% homeworld influence. I don't really want that one as such, but there's a lot to choose from. It's just that we end up with this discount here. So I do want to wait until we can actually then choose across the board. Just go and click on done. Now, that's all we had to do was just get 1. Now we've got ourselves a pirate ship in through here, a sniper. This one here, there's only 1 world, so this again is useless to us. Let's go and see if there's anything back out. Well, this one's pretty close. Let's just go across to here now. And just see what we can find there. I'll just get it reasonably close. These are still sort of moving in. Now we do actually have, there's Durantium there as well. So this system here is, we're putting a lot of stock on this one now to be able to then find this world. We're looking for orbits like this. to then be able to sort of find wherever this world is hiding, which must be in here, I guess. Oh, hang on. I accidentally clicked on this. This one here is a food planet. There's a thin atmosphere, so I accidentally sort of ended up moving that one on top of where that actually was. So the first anomaly survey, our survey ship has now also just done something where it's gone through and it's found a miniature black hole reactor hovers in a containment shell, harnessing its power could bolster the ship armaments at the risk of speed and stability. So contain the device for military use, and so we add the unstable reactor to our arsenal. It's rumoured to grant ships formidable offensive strength. So gains a charge for the artifact of Singularity Core, or disassemble it. Now we can get. At this point in time, the money is more important to me than the military use. So I'm going to go and disassemble it and put the 450 into the treasury. That doubles our income, which now will allow me to rush build certain things if I find something that's worth it. So now if we go back into, you'll see there we've now got 8 cultural progression points we can now go into use. So I can go and get, for pacifism, I could go and grab the 3 constructor ships, which will also then allow me to expand out. We haven't really found enough use yet of going with the where was it, the 3 colony ships, but it would be an interesting one. I think we'll go with the, even though it's pacifism, I think we'll still go and get the 3 constructor ships, because we know that we've got some resources here that we want to be going and getting. So we'll go with kindness, which is not really thematically where we're heading off to, but that'd still be okay. So we've now got that one spent. We can start to sort of deviate around here a little bit as we do different things. That's going to give me the different constructors. Now I start off with, so I've got like a builder here. I've got these different, I've got thulium there as well as Promethean over through here as well as special resources. So I just want to grab the resources to start with. We have Gerantium back in here, just 1. We haven't really seen much else. Let's just have a bit of a look first of all before we move those ships. Now, there's a lot of planets in here. We can now see there's 1 planet in here. This is actually a minor world. We can't get access to that one, but there's a whole heap of other little... There's a dead world there, dead world there, dead world there, dead world. These are all dead worlds. Yeah, dead planets, 6 of them. All right. It's just an artifact back out that way. It's just a little white one there. Move this one across this way now. Now we know that there's more Gerantium back out this other side. I do want to claim this, I think, even though there's only 1 that we can see. It's still just going to allow me to expand up. So I will send one of the builders out this other side. There's different sorts of star bases we can go and create as well. Like, it may be worthwhile creating an economic star base just to boost the economy from back in this other side. What I might do is I'll just use one of these ships to build the starting points of what we need. Let's just go and build this and get this one across there. I will use this one here just to go and create like this is the range that it actually has for mining. It's not going to do a hell of a lot. I'll just go and put the home world in there. I might just put it there actually. So if we go in here and create a star base, we can then sort of see what it will then go and do. The economic star base dedicates star base to building up the economy of our core worlds. This will be our most important world. Or it should be our most important world. Communication star base. Yeah, we don't need that one. Mining star base is what we need here. So we'll just go and construct a star base. I might just go for the other Gerantium actually. So Snap Han is saying opinions are so mixed on this game, but I love it. But then I don't seem to have all of the issues others have. except the occasional bug. Yeah, it's sort of the same as well. So Dom Casual saying, did you play Gal Civ 3? I played it a lot. I much prefer Gal Civ 4, and I prefer Gal Civ 2. So actually we're in trouble saying we watched you for years, and my questions aren't meant to annoy. They don't annoy me at all. I really want to genuinely improvement to the games, and I think you can input to the devs. Yeah, no, that's not a problem. No, I'm not annoyed at all by questions. I sometimes rush through things, and particularly when I'm streaming now on this channel, I'm going to be trying to progress the game a fair bit. There we go. I've got Promethean there as well. But no, the questions. It's just that when I get a wall of text, I think, oh, I can't deviate off. When I'm like in the coming days when I live stream this on my live stream channel, I'll have the time to be able to then go back through. I think that the devs do tend to look through the comments as well, so it is worth still putting it in there. But yeah, so no, it's not an annoyance at all. So don't ever think that. I actually like that people can ask questions, and sometimes I just don't know the answers. But it is something, and I do report back on what people say about the games as well. So I do actually sort of I do communicate back with the devs. The devs are usually very good at in most cases of being able to, like, they basically like getting feedback. So it is good. So yeah, no, absolutely don't feel that that I'm annoyed by questions. It just sometimes I just don't have the time to answer them. So. Yeah, it's sort of one of those things. So yeah, with Gal, that's a good question about Gal Civ 3, because Gal Civ 3 was not as finessed as Gal Civ 4 is. Some people liked it. Gal Civ 2 people thought was probably the best of the actual Gal Civs, but like when Gal Civ 4 first came out. But Gal Civ 4 was then reset. Like, we had Gal Civ 4 Supernova. You had Gal Civ 4 initially. It was on the Epic Game Store for a year, and then was, by the time it was launching into Steam, at that stage they released the Steam version as Supernova. And what they did with that is that they took all of the stuff that wasn't working great from Gal Civ 3, ditched all that, and went back to a lot of the planning from Gal Civ 2. So Gal Civ 4 is more like Gal Civ 2 than Gal Civ 3. And I found Gal Civ 3 a little bit boring to play, whereas Gal Civ 4 is much more I don't know, for me it just works heaps better than Gal Civ 3. So I loved Gal Civ 2, I enjoyed Gal Civ 3, and I love Gal Civ 4. So that's sort of where I sort of sit with those three games. Yep, so Dom Casual saying, yeah, I've played 100 hours so before it released, bought the Founders Edition and never really touched it again after. This is the original Gal Civ 4. Yeah, it's sort of the original one that came out was very... the thing that goes in my mind is very Star Trekky, I guess, is in the sense that it was all about diplomacy and friendships and not being aggressive. Whereas that's not really, like, the game is more like a board game. So aggression is a big part of it. So yeah, it's interesting. Hi, Draxel saying, so many Space 4X games. I own so many. They all are a bit different. Sins of Solar Empire 2. Yep, so good RTS one. This is a good turn-based. But how does it compare to the likes of Endless Space 2? For me, this is so much deeper than Endless Space. Endless Space is a game I find that has got a really, really nice user interface. I'll stop talking there. It's so shallow. It's such a shallow game, and so in that sort of sense, the Endless Space 2 for me is one of the is a game that looks great. It feels good when you're playing it just because it looks so good, and a lot of those sorts of games, the Endless series, often don't have a real lot of substance underneath the polish, whereas Gal Civ, it's got some pretty deep improvements. There's a lot more depth I find in these sorts of games. So so for me, Endless Space 2 would be right on the outer edge of. I'm sort of. I don't think I'll ever play it again. Like, it's there's too many other good games around. So Scanix is saying, is this game more like Stellaris, or is it different enough? It's interesting. That's, again, a good question. When I look at the three big Space 4Xs, or even the four-ish ones that you may include Interstellar Space Genesis in that list as well. If you divide them or sort of put them on a continuum of sort of simulation games, like Distant Worlds absolutely rules when you're thinking about simulation, where it's simulating real things, where you need to have every resource at the location, etc., etc. So the Distant Worlds 2 is way on that end, where it's a full-on simulation before it's a game. It's actually more of a simulation than a game. And then when you sort of start to come back through, at the other end, you end up with more board game style games. And this is Gal Civ 4 sits right on that end of that point, along with Interstellar Space Genesis, I would argue as well. And you know, it's a lot of board gamey games sort of here, but Gal Civ I think is the most polished of those games. Stellaris is a step back from the board game style games, but still in that category. So for me, they all sort of sit on that strategy board game end, with Distant Worlds on the other end with simulation, which I think makes it difficult for people to go from Stellaris to Distant Worlds, but relatively easy to go from Stellaris to Galactic Civilizations would be the way that I would be thinking about those. Okay, so let's just go and get another mining drone in here. So we'll just boost this one up. We've got modules, available modules. I've only got 2, so we'll just go and click on done. That's then going to improve the mining in through here. I think I will go and grab this other Gerantium mine that was back out this other side. So we'll just go and place another mining operation out here. We may be lucky and have other Gerantium out this way as well. They're all moving off. I don't know about doing the economic starbase. I don't know if that was if I should be doing that now just to get the bonuses. So yeah, Don Casual saying Distant Worlds 2 equals gigantic fish tank. Yes, pretty much. It's a game that you don't play. You basically you manage bits of it. But this is unashamedly trying to be as like fairly board gamey in the sense that what they've done with Gal Civ 4, and I think they've done a good job of it, and they keep on improving this as well, is trying to make it so that it plays at a good pace. Once you sort of get once you get started. I mean, I don't play it at a good pace, but the game itself is designed to be you sort of rattle through the actual turns fairly quickly. Now what do we have in through here? We've got an event that's come in. So Gordon Helix Planet Report. Blight has affected Gordon Helix. I don't like these, to be honest. Your administrators warned that there won't be enough food for all your citizens. The wealthy have already begun stockpiling food, and the desperate have begun raiding their stockpiles. What are your orders? So we can share with the less fortunate. We'll suffer together. Now this is going to increase pacifism, cultural awareness, increase to 4. Distribute the goods to our leaders. It's just totalitarian. Increases for 5. Plus 5 loyalty to all units for 10 months. Minus 50% growth for 10 months. And minus 10% approval for 10 months. A stage of war amongst your people. This is nihilism. Deception check, 60% chance of success. I think we'll do the totalitarianism. Pacifism, I don't want to... We've already head down this way a little bit. Do we end up with the growth? I think we're going to go this way here. So we're going to start to push totalitarianism. We're going to take the hit to our approval anyway, unfortunately. So we're not making any money at all anymore. That's all okay. We'll just end our turn. I think everything is heading in the right direction. Just want to make sure I've got this guy moving off. Yeah, that's okay. Hang on, can't end the turn just yet. Now we need to... There's the start of an orbit just in here. So we'll just move this one across. Where are you? That's as far as we can go. This one here, we just want to go and just until we can actually see the actual planet itself. 3 planets. Okay, looks interesting. So we've got ourselves a poor class 1 with no real redeeming features there. This one here is another poor with a little bit of... It's not terrible. Damn it. So I was relying, again, the RN gods have actually been very, very unkind to us with this start. I'm not going to start again, but this is really annoying. this is where we've got no planets there. And remember, these can have between 0 and 5 planets, actually. So I've got one planet there, which is a class 22. Back over here, no planets to speak of. In fact, we haven't been there. We might have to have a look. We're going to swing back past over here. These I was relying on getting at least another 2 good planets out of. Nothing. I've got a class 3. I've got a couple of class, low class, three low class planets there. Nothing to create like another colony out of. Nothing to create a colony out of over here. Nothing here. It's just nothing here. So again, we've really hit a spot again in the game where we're just really unlucky. So sorry, what's saying? What faction? It's a homemade faction that we made. A bit of an aggressive one. This has now become a pain in the ass game again because we've only got one planet that we can really grow on. So Seva's saying, I wonder if the good old trick of making a cargo hull scout with one small laser, a few energy engines will be able to escape anything with guns during wars, and scanners will still work. I'm not sure, because probe ships have got their own special abilities. I'm not sure what you can build with them. I think there's a lot of limitations. Anyway, this will keep on going, but unfortunately we only have one viable planet so far. And this is, by this stage, I would have really been hoping for 3. So I'm quite pissed off about that. Like, again, we've had a really unlucky start to the actual game itself. Gosh, every time I do a live stream, I end up with debilitated. I played 3. I didn't play the whole games, but I did 3 or 4 starts yesterday as a test to sort of see what's viable, what's not, and I was getting planets coming out of my eyeballs. Basically, it's funny that this is just so bad. It was it's just weird. I almost saved one of the games. So I was saving the game before I started. I would just check to see what's around me, and one of them I think had 4 class, one of these like a little cluster of yellow stars actually ended up with 4 really amazing planets in it. So anyway, it's just it's painful that we have that this is actually doing this to me. It's so annoying. Our saving hope now is that these planets here will actually have something of value. That's all we can really hope for. It does your head in, actually. It all comes down to the planet types. So this is useless. Now we've wasted all this time with this colony ship going down to here, where we've really got nothing redeemable here. There's a bit of money coming in from that one, bit of money there as well, and a bit of production. That's there, number 5. That's that one there. This one here is useless. Well, let's go and have a look and see what's hit this one. There's nothing. There's just nothing around. Maybe over there might be something. No, we've already been out there as well. There's nothing out there either. Yeah, no, this is another shockingly bad start that we end up having. So Seva's saying my vote is to restart. Let me know, guys, if you want me to do a restart. I am very disappointed with this start that we've got. It's very, very annoying. Well, there's our amazing planet there. I'll just go and grab it. Yeah, so Falcon's saying restart. Okay, what we'll do is let's just do a quick cheat and just see, did I jump the gun too early? Because we didn't get to see if there's anything else around here. We didn't get to see these 4 in here. But I'll just on the off chance, it's so rare that you pick up anything on these white planets, white stars. I will actually just quickly go in and just grab this world. Okay. So commercialize the exotic fauna. That gives me +1 wealth. Yeah, we'll do that. Universal translator has now been grabbed as well. Asteroid mining we want. Click on done. So that's it so far. Let's just do a quick cheat. So we'll just go to the tilde key, FOW. Let's see who we're up against. So if we just do a fog of war, I then get to meet everyone. So that one goes like this. Okay, that was it. That would have been interesting. So we've got the from the Zendar brood. So they would have been. Actually, are these dangerous? I can't remember what these ones are like. No, these are friendly. Actually, they don't look it, but I think these are friendly. Let's click on done. Goodbye. Next one. Where's the next one? So we ended up with a small shitty planet there. We ended up with another shitty planet back over here. We ended up with another shitty planet over here. Yeah, no, it's a good choice to rewind this one. Shitty planets everywhere. God, I really can't believe how unlucky I've been. There's another good one over there, Frozen World, and back into here we have this is the zombies that we had created. And do we end up with anyone else in this system? Not really. I mean, it's just, I just need a couple of them, you know, like just a couple of planets. And we ended up with a minor over here, which we wouldn't be able to do anything with either. So, yeah, unfortunately, if I go and, I'll just go back, I'll just go Control N. So, so we're saying maybe put the livable world setting up one more level, maybe. Let's just have a quick look and see. We'll just do another test. It's funny, I tested it yesterday, and I was really happy with the results I was getting. You know, with just checking things out. Like in this one here, we've got a very small cluster. And again, these are we can get out to that one through there. So one thing I can do here is I can just say, okay, look, is it viable for me to get to there? I'm not really, I mean, I don't want to be catching the white stars in when I do the first sector sweep, or the first sweep. Let's just do the telescope takeover. I can get those three. I can get those three there. That gives me an orange and a purple. Minor faction there. A good planet there, just as an example. But I think I might just raise things up a little bit. Nothing else there. Again, this one here, we've got the minor faction, along with these very, very high level planet there. So that planet there is actually not too bad. I'm going to just this just looks like such a small sector though. So I'm just going to go Control. I'll just do a quick cheat just to see what we ended up getting. So FOWNC. So what did we end up with over here? Steel Nexus. That's someone's core world. So even in that one, it's very, very tight. In fact, we end up with 3. That would have been really debilitating to play in this one. Again, yeah, I think you're right. There's another one that's good over there, but there's hardly anything around really. Let's ramp it up one more level. So if we just go back out to the main menu and just go back to new game. Keep on playing with this group in here, the traditionalists. We will ramp up the habitable planets to abundant. So we'll just go that way. This doesn't mean settleable planets. This means also the class 1s and 2s, etc. as well. It just means there's going to be more of them. We'll just go next. I'll just go with the zombies that we created at the start, along with 2 other factions. Start the game. Yes, there's purple stars more likely to have promethium in the systems. Now, if the stars are too far away from our starting location, that's also another thing that we're going to then do a restart on. So we'll just have a quick look, and we have a bigger sector. We've got some low levels in through there, some more in there. I think I would prefer a bit closer, so I'm just going to go Control N. I sort of need a cluster of stars to be able to pick up. I want 3 good stars to then use that telescope takeover. So we just go Control N just to keep on regenerating from the same setup. This looks interesting in here. Wow, that's a tiny little sector. All right, let's have a look and see what we end up with in this group. Executive orders, telescope takeover, yes. So we can get all 3 of those. You only get 2 there. Actually, I can technically get 3 there, but only 1 viable planet. I can only get 2 there. So this one here will be interesting to just see what we end up getting. There we go. We've picked up 1 good planet. So and there is a geranthium in there as well. Quick look at this one. 5 dead planets. 2 dead planets. 1 good planet here. 35. Yeah, this is our start, guys. This is our start. So as Sil is saying, I have more luck with single sector maps. Now this one here is an interesting one because we're gonna have to rush out to this as quickly as we can to grab this planet. If there's another group here that ends up getting a colony ship to it before me, I'm going to be restarting. Let's just go through very quickly all those little things that we did at the very start. First thing is go into here, go into this build queue and go and rush the Leadership Council. Go and click on done, come back into government. Approval 60%-ish there. That's actually fairly, the tax rate there is, that's interesting. I'll just give it around 60%. In through here we will go with the culture points per month, just so we can go and grab extra ones of those. Leaders, don't have as good a leader. We've got good diligence there. Got a 7 there for doing the research. That will be helpful. So I'll bring you across. Ministers, this one here with the high diligence will go into exploration. Give us a bit more of a boost along there. 7 in there. So we don't end up with the same level of leaders that we had before. That's all good. Just click on done. That then gives me the boost for research. I will go the universal translator. We can also increase the capacity. We don't need that one there. I'm going to grab the universal translator there. Click on done. Probe. We need to see what these different planets have got. So if I have a look at a loop, we're probably going to end up, I will loop out to this one here first. The yellows should have more settleable planets on them. So we'll move this one across and just sort of see where we end up going. We're also going, so we've already now spent 15 of our control up through this other side. We'll also just go and grab another draft colonists. Just go yes. 1 colony ship will be sent out to this world. So this is now inside our area. So we'll just beeline for that one. That's all good. And this one here, I will take a line out to this one here. You can see that there's already 2 orbits that we're seeing across this other side. So just in case we can quickly settle one of these worlds, we'll send that one out there as well. This probe ship, again, I could use it for scouting initially. I could, even just to go down there, but I think I'll just get it to keep on getting the anomalies as quickly as possible. We'll also then give it experience as well. We have a scientist on board these, by the way, so we've got like a guy in here that's fairly low science and fairly low intelligence, but he's the guy in charge of that particular ship. Right, then we go back to the actual world itself. In this case, we're looking for little houses. We've got a 3 to manufacturing down through that side. We've got a 3 to research in there. 1 house down through that side. This is not fantastic. We do have a 3 food there. A lot of manufacturing down this way. What do we have with this one here? This is a boost coil to unlock charges that will reset the moves of a selected fleet. Okay, so that will be useful later on in the game. I can delete these and just make use of what's there. So for putting down the capital city, I really only have boosters there and there. God, if I move into here though, I end up boosting these a lot, like a hell of a lot. So the negative of going into here means that we end up with 1 less population cap and slightly less income. But we then boost these up to 4, we get more research, even that one there, we can end up sort of building housing down that way anyway. We do get a boost ultimately there, and more manufacturing in there as well. I think that this is the spot, even though it's not like we only get up to 11 in this one. So we've got the planetary base of +3, Colonial Leadership Council +2, and then the capital city of +6. So we don't have the 12, we only have 11, but that's still okay. Everyone's happy, which is good. We only have one scientist back into here. Wow, expectations are mile high there. Expectations high. That's, yeah, wow, they're all high. They're gonna drop. The approval's going to drop way low. We do have low crime. Actually, no, crime's up there. We have 11% pollution. So, building the next thing, we do actually have income here of 3. That will change next turn. This one here, I do actually have the +2 bonus. This approval is just so important. But I think I'm going to go with the capital mainframe. I can get 5 there, and then I can get other things around this. It's ultimately going to give me a heap of research. Let's go that way this time. Just go and click on done. And next turn that will then come back down again. Idle shipyard. We'll just go and build the new refuge. So build that ship. Done. And that's it. First turn. We did that one pretty quickly. Oh, hang on. I forgot again to go back into here. Recruiting station. Build. Okay. That's good. This class 35 is like game changing. Like it's going to be so good as long as we can get hold of it. That's going to be the one thing that we need to do. We want to check and see if this is actually viable for us. So let's just move across. Scout can see a little bit further. So we've got 4 more turns. We can now see this. When we come in, we've got 4 planets. We've got ourselves a class 20. This is great. So this is another great planet. We've got ourselves a class 24, but requires extreme colonization. A class 2. And a class 1. This is a good start. So we've got ourselves, there's that class 2 there. We do need to get this one across now into picking this one up. So we'll just keep on moving that one over. This one here still got 2 more moves. Let's now just move down and pick up these other systems as well. So keep on going. So where did we get it to? We just go this way. Yes, so saying, well, it seems that we went from barely anything usable to multiple usable planets with the change of setting. Well, the change of setting, what that does do is it gives you more actual planets, which gives you more chances of picking up the good planets. But even when I was testing it yesterday, it often meant a lot more class 1s and 2s. So let's just keep on going out this way. We need to sort of scout around this way a little bit. That one's all being settled. But it is interesting, like actually one thing I had meant to show actually at the start was when you do change the number of habitable planets, it changes the colour of these as well. You end up with a lot less white. If you go to the other extreme and start a game, you end up with mainly all just white systems with a few coloured ones in between. Whereas with the high habitable planets ranging through here, you end up with lots and lots of them, which is quite interesting actually just to see that. Now this one here, we've still got 4. And 1 more. Now what have you got? Nothing, just a dead world. I'll move this one across. And not quite able to see. Oh yes, we can. So we can see this red star, 3 dead stars there. So again, a bit unlucky down in that end, but that's still all okay. We'll just quickly zip across. White I'm going to ignore because there's hardly going to have anything there. We'll go to this blue star over here. That's dead world. That's what we can do there. So we'll just have to find the good planets in amongst this one. says we should start considering colonizing Sansuna too, which is, of course, this one here. So we're here. We do have 6 movement on this one. So I'm just going to go and settle that one right now. Okay, so yes, we will colonize. With the establishment of this colony, we've taken our first steps in the galaxy. Our colonists represent everything which makes our people great. So this is great and through here. Now we did find something. So we've got the colony food processor is broken, leading to a halt in food production. Immediate action is required to avert a potential crisis. This is going to cost me -5 Durantium, which I don't actually have. So we're negative from the very, very start, which is not good. We do have Durantium back over here, so we will have to go and make a harvesting station for that. This one here has got, you can see even just in the summary of the actual planet itself, low manufacturing, pretty good technology, great wealth, and farming okay, with some good cultural input in through there as well. Now we do need to assign a governor to this particular world to then make it into a something we can then go and do. Otherwise, all it does do is just send back goods back to the home world, and so that's what this dotted line is. So it's sending those back. When we have a look at the home world, and we have a look at and see what we're actually getting, we'll sort of see that the income is coming. We're getting 5 from our home world and only 4.9 coming in from Sansuna 2. So we end up, if we go back into the world and hover over the income, so the base income, this one here is just getting that amount, but it's actually not, it's not taking into account the bonuses. We do actually have, actually there it is there. Yeah, so now the income is the income. Yeah, so this is currently improving our income in this other side, but this world is just too good to ignore. So to not have it as an actual colony. So we're going to colonize this particular world in here. So with the others, we can't do anything else there just yet. No, that's okay. It's a shame about that random event that meant that we're going to be behind a Durantium right from the very, very start. Okay, so for this one here, we need to then go back to our leaders, which is inside government. So we go across to leaders, and we've still got our 2 ministers. So we now want to get someone with high levels of social skills. So this one here, he's got diligence, he's got social skills. Who have we got in our actual leader pool now? So social of 8, back into here. She doesn't love us, and this is going to go down even more when she's the governor. But overall, that's actually not too bad. So I think I'll have her as the governor. So let's just go and employ her. Go back to the governors of the worlds. And so we end up with Sansuna 2. This is actually a higher level planet than our home planet. So we'll just go and throw this one on board here. So she's now in charge of the planet. You can see she's now dropped down to 35. So not great, but she does actually have, and this is going to be, the important thing is the approval bonus, because we're playing with humanoids. So this is going to be an important little world, getting everything sort of done. So if we then just go and click on done through there. So this is our first core world. So by appointing a governor, we've elevated this colony into a core world under dedicated leadership. It can be developed well beyond the limits of an ordinary colony. So we can do a lot with this planet now, sort of slowly over time. So if we double click, this is what we end up seeing. We have one build in through here, which is the, actually we've got the industrial center. This is the core world capital. So this one here, again, is provides the basic needs of the core world. It's unique for the colony. We get this 1+1 food, +1 maintenance, crime goes up, manufacturing goes up, population cap goes up as well to +1. So we can have up to 5 on this particular world. We have 1 colonist in through here at this stage who has got lowish expectations. So this is actually this one's good actually to have here. Yeah, so then we've got the level, we get the income and the population cap goes up by +1 per level there. And we do actually have see how it's actually set this one up for us? If I just destroy this, there's more over this way. We get influence there, research there. This one gives me 3 manufacturing, 2 approval. This is vitally important. So we need to get our approval up. She doesn't give a massive boost to approval with what she does get to do. So over time, we're going to need to affect this. So that's a good one for us to keep this one where that is, where we do get the bonus because of the little house that's there. The only other places would be up through here to go and pick up other bits. This one's +3 to military. This will be shipbuilding back over that way. Manufacturing, base manufacturing back out this other side. +2 to food back over this way. Can the names of colonies be changed after colonising? Yes, yeah, I'm pretty sure they can. Because I will be wanting to name them whatever the theme is. But approval here, I think that's a bit of a no-brainer. We're just going to throw this one across. In fact, when I go there, it doesn't choose that one. It chooses those. That's interesting. We do actually have the planetary treasury. This one gives extra to wealth. Yeah, we will be wanting to do this eventually. But approval is going to be so important. Redeemed name a character. Yeah, there we go. So Severian Prime. All right. We'll do that. Because we will be playing on this particular world. So I've got treasury there. I do actually have industrial centre, which I can get +4 out through that side. It's going to be sort of stuck away, though. I think what I'll do is the approval. I keep on thinking that this would be a good one here. Yeah, it's a hard one. +1 approval there as well. And then these do give a bonus to wealth. If I built that one, well, that's a +3 approval. I really can't go past that. It's going to give me another 9% approval. I think I'll pop that in there. It's going to take a long time to build this one up, but we'll eventually get there as the colonists sort of start to arrive. So that's actually a good one for us. Now, this particular world, there we go. So this is going to be Severian Prime. Of course, if the planet falls or fails, then Sev will be banned from the chat. Yeah, so we're in deep trouble saying I usually just cut taxes to nothing early on, make up for the lack of money by selling a few resources now and then. Yeah, that's sort of where we are anyway. At this stage. Oh no, so we are back in here. Yeah, I think we will do that now. Like it's going to take it to 0. I mean, I might just get a little bit of a income coming back through. This is now the overall sort of approval rates across the galaxy. We'll just keep it low, but it will help actually. If I do take it down to 0, what do we end up with? Only a few more percentage points. I'll just get a little bit of income coming in just at the +2. I'll just go that way. All right. That's going to change anyway as we start to build things. All right, so we've at least now made a good headway out this other side. This one here, we just need to keep on finding. There's a poor one. Just need to keep on finding this other planet. Okay, we'll end our turn there. I could be rushing to get even more areas down through here, for example. When do we get the telescope? 25 months until we can do the telescope takeover, and 7 months before we can get more colonists. There's more pirates back in through here. We're probably going to have to start to get some defense ships around the place. A couple of mainframe now completed on Gordon Helix. It's giving me a little bit of research now, so we're sort of research is starting to sort of pick up. Approval, I still think, is going to be super important here. I mean, we do have high approval. When I go and click on this one, we do get pluses. Getting the population here. When we do get housing, that can be useful. Food is not really a problem at all. Yeah, we've got this one here, the industrial centre. We do get a +5 there. I might throw that one in there, just so we can get our manufacturing up as well. So research has not gone up a hell of a lot. It's just percentage points again. So we're not making a hell of a lot with that one, and same with manufacturing. But eventually these will pay for themselves. Just not yet. So it's going to have to build up. Let's move across. What are you? This is the excellent one. So if we have a quick look and see this one here, we had the class 20, class 24, but we need extreme colonization. Yeah, so a few of these other ones also require the extreme colonization. This one has a -2 population cap and a whole heap of pollution. It's radioactive world. So it's not one that we want to be rushing into. This one here is not great bonuses, but it is still a class 20. There's the class 24. Survey ship, mysterious object. So this is from our probe. So amongst the debris lies the remnants of the precursor ship. Most of the systems are too ruined to salvage, but an adaptive defence system is still online and operational. It's a remarkable bit of technology, capable of recalibrating its field emitters to defend against whatever incoming weapons systems it detects. Even better, it provides enough defensive cover to protect an entire fleet. The good news is that our engineers can use it as a ship upgrade. The bad news is that the adaptive system is beyond repair. Once the system sets, it will remain that way forever. What mode do you want to lock it? So we can calibrate it to defend the fleet from laser weapons. So this is a free field generator ship upgrade. Calibrate it to defend the fleet from missile weapons, free missile disruptor ship, and calibrate it to defend from kinetics. Now kinetics I'm not going to really worry about. They seem to be used probably the least of everything. Missile and laser, either one of these. Missile is much more long range. That might be a good one just to sort of at least have it so that we're at least set up a little bit. So let's just go and grab that one. Now we've got the universal translator. That's where we found that ship, with this ship in through here. It doesn't go onto that ship, by the way. It goes into like a special location we can then sort of make use of later on. So we've got a universal translator. So choose new tech. Subspace frequency. This will then allow us to start to get our command chips, which I think is a good thing for us to go and do. Asteroid mining, though, is also only 5 away. This will actually really help with the... I think we'll go manufacturing first. I do want to get this one fairly soon. These are all linear. By that I mean, there's if we go to the Tech Navigator and have a look at asteroid mining through here, like it does then split off into 2 once we get this one through this other side. In governance, this splits off into 4. I do definitely want to have... I don't want... Then this will then end up... If I just go back in, they will end up... Once I get that, I'm going to end up with 4 over through here, like, or 3, because one of them will be back in here somewhere. So we'll end up with much less random choice. Asteroid mining splits off into 2, so we're going to end up with 1 extra, so we have slightly less chance of picking up what we want through there. It's sort of funny because none of the advisors are suggesting that we go and do any of these. Space War Tactics, again, if we have a look at the Tech Navigator for that one, that's going to be weapons, I think. Actually, no, that's not it. Where is it? Engineering? No, the engineering is the other one. Logistics. Yeah, that one only just gives me 1, but this is... but I'm actually happy. I'm happy enough to go for the asteroid mining, even though it's not recommended. In fact, yeah, that's okay. We've just got that one there. So that's going to be in five months, and then we should be able to then pick up the command ships after that, hopefully. It would be nice to get those, just because we can see the pirates around. I'm just going to know, is that the right one? Yeah, that was the right one. Okay, so the location of our colony on Elgarth 1 is apparently the prime hunting grounds of a species of massive building-sized worms. It's by far the most fertile land on the planet, and we don't want to move it if we don't have to. But on the other hand, massive building-sized worms, what are your orders? Now we can protect it where we get less tiles. Collectivism goes up, which we're not interested in. The worms, we can get totalitarian. We end up with get +1 farming on the world. 2 words, worm rodeo. So this is egalitarian. We do end up with +5% gross income on the world and +5% approval. Again, approval being a bit of a multiplier. I think we'll go this way. Like, it's quite fun actually playing with a faction that we don't need to focus on totalitarianism. We can sort of go in whichever direction we want. But let's go this way here. I think it's the best choice for what we're doing. I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water. Be right back. Now, we wanted this one to also be a colony, so we're going to go across now and set this one up as an actual colony. Go back into government, leaders, and again, we're looking for good, that's the best social skills that we actually have. Not good at much else. She's only got 3, this one's got 4, but she does have very high resolve. She'd be good as in the command of a ship. He's the best we've got. He's cheap. He's cheap as chips. Well, what is he? He's distracted. -2 diligence. No sense of smell. Lost the sense of smell. It's an industrial accident. But he's cheap. That's what we want. So we'll get him in there. Go back to governors. I can always just change the governors around. But in this case, we'll throw him into this new one. Elfgar 1. So we can do anything that's over class 10. We can actually do this with. So we're just going to click on done through here. And with this one here, I don't have to, like, it's put its core world capital way down the bottom there, which is only giving me bonuses of 2. This is a desert world, so we're not getting much in through here. I'm going to go and destroy this improvement. I can then place this anywhere I like. So I think over through here, like if we have a quick look and see, what's this one here? +3 to influence, +1 to research. If I place that one there, I can then sort of do other things. So what I want to be doing here is I can only get up to 4 citizens on this particular world. So it's going to be fairly poor. So I can just chop and change that core world capital wherever I sort of feel that is going to be best served. Food in through here. We end up with a +1 with food, even though it's in the desert. Yeah, there's nothing else really there. Got influence again. Approval. I think for this one here, they are pretty happy. Her expectations are tiny. They're extremely low. In that case, we don't need to do that. This one here is just going to be like manufacturing. I might just start manufacturing out through here, really. We do have research as well. We do actually have the planetary treasury. Not going to help me much. I think we'll go that way. We'll just start to get more and more manufacturing in here. It'll take some time to build up. Once we start to get more citizens there, it'll work as well. So that's given us 2 outposts now. So if anyone wants to claim that one, if you're watching on Twitch, you can claim that particular world. Back in through here, what do we have? Recruiting station. It's going to be 100 from a treasury. Initially, it's probably worth it. How long before we get this? 26 months. So that'll make it 13 months. Gordon Helix is coming. So we've now got another scientist that's just arrived. This one here in 22 months. Yeah, so I probably do want to go and get these things built. So I will go and grab a recruiting station in here, and we'll do the same over here. Oh, wow, we've got 4 slots there. Just so we can sort of halve the time to start to get new citizens. Now, when we find another viable system, there's our probe there. So it's sort of like just nebula across the side there. Yeah, Nearly at turn 10. Almost. Of culture points to add a new trait to your civilization. So if we can now go back into the cultural points. Pacifism, we've already got the constructor ship. No, we didn't do that one, did we? So we've got any one of these we can then go and get. I think at this stage the constructor ships are the important ones. So let's just go back into this one here. Go and click on yes. Just go and click on done. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We've actually got ourselves an Umbral Horror. This is sort of what I mean about these are possibly going to be too much for us. But I'll still just stay where we are. That's interesting. We ended up with these all around here. Well, I do want to end up with this Urantium. Sometimes when there's one, there might be more. Okay, let's just build a mining ship in here, mining starbase. There we go. It'll take a long time to pay back what we had. I'll just go and grab that as well. These move at 6, these move at 4. That one moves at 4 as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think it can reach us. So none of those should be able to go past these space monsters without any real big problem. Did we end up? We should have another one. Oh, there's the other builder there. We don't actually have much out this way. Actually, where is our builder? Yeah, there it is there. So we've got the... I might just make an economic starbase here. Initially. There's nothing much else going on there, is there? Actually, is that the right place for it? I might need a military starbase in here somewhere. They can only be a certain distance away from each other. I forget what that distance actually is. I might move it down this way, so we end up sort of on the peripheral edge, so we can put a military starbase up into here, mining starbase back over here. So this one here we want to move back. And that should stay enough away from Severian Prime. Did come after us. Okay, so this is the Innovators of the Cosmos. So we're coming second. It is chasing us. Interesting. We're only moving at 4. It only moves at 4 anyway. We get the boost because we're inside our borders initially. Now, what have we got in here? There's a minor world there, grave. So this is there's a miner in around amongst this actual system. We haven't gone down to that one yet. We'll just come back out to this one here. I do want to check all these out. There's the actual world. We can take these over at some point. We'll just leave that one where that is. So one more month and we get asteroid mining, which will be useful in around here. Do we have asteroids here? No, we don't. What about this way? No, we don't have many asteroids anywhere else other than just around our home system. Now hopefully we can get the subspace frequency tech this next turn. This builder. So just move it back to there, that should be enough. Economic starbase, construct the starbase there. So this one here, and we also have unlocked asteroid mining, but we've got, I'll just go and choose new tech, I'll just get this one out of the way. Didn't quite get it, unfortunately. So we've got defensive studies back in through there. Starbase modules allow us to start building modules for our starbases. Provides 2 free constructors. Imperial Doctrine. This one here is not going to add more. I'm wanting to bring in this one here so I can get it cheaply. Imperial Doctrine, I'm pretty sure, is one that sort of is back off. Oh no, it's going to add 3 after that one. Weapons, that only adds 1. Defense adds only 1. So I might grab the defense one, I think. Again, just to get it out of the way. Just going to click on back. And Starbase modules is, I think that opens up too much. But defensive studies, I can just grab that one. Just click on done. So we have manufacturing and gross income goes up by 5%. If I do actually have, if I go and just building this module automatically, if I go and do that one there and click on done to make the Starbase factory. Oh, hang on, we need Durantium for that. All right, so I won't do that. Just going to click on done. So it's only a small boost, unfortunately. It's not a hell of a lot. This thing's still following us. It's traveling at the same speed as us. It's hunting us. Now, approval is actually pretty good. We are going backwards here with money. And it is suggesting, money-wise, we get a manufacturing district. We get a 5 there. Let's go and do that for now. Start to sort of get things built up. It's funny how just little things can really impact the what actually happens. Here's our mining ships. So we'll throw one in there. That should. Oh, I think. Sorry, the other one already had done that. Should be another mining ship around here somewhere. Yeah, so that one started off with this one already doing mining. So it's just going to give a little bit of a boost back to the actual home world itself. That's fine. Get that one. Yeah, I was sure there was another mining ship. I thought we got 3 when we got that tech. Stop following. Okay, we've now found these guys. You stand before the Void Revenants, tread lightly, Helix Reclaimers, for we respect only strength. So in this case, these are the zombies that we had created at the start of the game. We're reasonable and open to new deals. So this one, it is becoming positive at this stage, but it won't be for long. And you can see down through here, they've got Space War Tactics. They're not going to give that one up. We've got a couple extras that we could actually try to get, but they're not going to trade with us. They've got probes. So we've got lots and lots of probes. That's how they probably found us, I would guess. For our ships, you've got a probe and a builder. Yep, so that's all we actually have as well. I like that you get to sort of see all this stuff. So, what else do they have? One strategic resource. Modules, and we've got modules as well. I'm not going to do this with them. Alright, so we'll just say done. So we're in the same group, we're in the same area as these guys. Now we need to find out where they found us from, so we can at least get a direction. So DAS probe survey report. So long ago, the group of Iridium abandoned their empire to follow the religion of the Kirin, began a slow journey through space on a multi-generational pilgrimage. Their ultimate goal is to discover a world with a divine altar they can worship at and a base from which they can spread their message. If you construct the altar that they are looking for, they'll be happy to relocate to our world. If not, they will continue on their journey. What should we do? So if we go back in, these are Kryn missionaries. What do we end up? Start a mission. They must need supplies. Resupply the missionaries at a fair price. We're doing okay money-wise. Do we want Kryn? We are accepting of all factions and so on and so forth. Do we do it? This will then start a progress of things. Let's just do it for the sake of the story. So we'll just go okay. Now we need to try to find this little probe. How did they see us? Is that it? Yep, there it is. Okay, so there was nothing around this one other than dead worlds. The fact that they're there, they must be coming from here. That gives me... Okay, so this means that these are going to be what we fight over, I think. Unless they're in amongst this group. I'm going to grab myself another colony ship. So I can do that now. It's turn 13. And we'll just do what we can, I guess. Sever's saying, let's settle them on Sever and Prime. I'm sure nothing can go wrong. They're not the zombies in that group. The zombies are going to be different again. We've still got a colony ship we are building here. We're going to get that in one turn as well. I might just go and grab another asteroid miner. Queue that one up. Done. Unfortunately, we haven't found any great planets. If we have a look at the actual planets that we've found. So we've got ourselves a... Actually, that's not bad. Oh yeah, no, that one requires extreme. Yeah, these are all just extremes. Yeah, which is sort of funny. We don't have a lot of planets that we've actually come across. I will send another group out this way and hope that they're over in here somewhere. That this is where they started, and that these are open still for settlement. Actually, if we go back and talk with them again, it should tell us. Actually, I think it only tells us what we know about them. If we go to diplomacy, we also then have the Galactic Bazaar. Yeah, nothing else in there we need. Diplomacy. And speak to. No, it's not giving us the number of colonies. Just going to click on done, say goodbye. All right, so it looks like we're going to be on full-on aggression with them. They should be the only other faction in our starting location, I think. It means we're going to have to start to get militaristic fairly soon. Now survey. So this group have abandoned their empire. So we need to build. We need to build that, don't we, for this one here? For this mission. Yeah, where do we see the missions? Divine World Altar. I don't know if it'll tell us that we need to go and do that one. I mean, if I try to build it on this world here, it's going to be too... it's going to take way too long. Yeah, it costs way too much to get that. Yeah, the approval here is down. Let's just go back to our core world. And there it is there. The Quranic altar. Then we need Helios ore for that, which is going to be a problem. We've gotten back 2 of the Durantium, like so we're now -3. and this one here. We'll just go and pop this one into one of these locations. That gives me the thulium as well. So we've got thulium and promethium. So we'll just go in and set this one up. Mining starbase, construct. Now it means Severium Prime is going to be the planet that's going to be affected by the zombies first, I think. Get mining drones in there, done. Just pick up, so we end up every 5 turns we end up with one resource in through this other side. We do get a free one at the very, very start of this. So we get 1 thulium, 1 promethium. I don't think that's going to then allow us to build anything just yet. No, still can't do anything else in here. These require gerantium. Do we have any other gerantium? No. Let's go back this way. This is leader candidates have arrived. Let's have a look and see if there's anyone special. They're going to be around for a fair length of time. I do like this one. We are going backwards now fairly quickly. Her level there is good. $286, leaves me with 200. We hope to get that one fairly soon. I think I might grab her. She's got 16 turns. I would hate to forget about her. So our probe is in here. Well, we better find out what's going on down here, I think. I mean, let's just go across and see if we can find anything else out. Actually, maybe we're so close to this, we'll just go across this one first and see what we can find. Gordon Helix Planet Report. So the breakthrough in universal translator technology has opened up a gateway to interspecies communication, turning our planet into a potential hub for interstellar tourism. So this presents us with a unique opportunity to become a crossroad for galactic civilizations where knowledge, culture and commerce can be exchanged freely and efficiently. As we contemplate this project, we must consider the infrastructural and diplomatic challenges it poses. Put another way, we have an opportunity to make some tourism income. So let's should proceed with caution, as this will make some people very unhappy on our world. We're not turning our home world into an amusement park. Let's not do that one. Let's not do it. We are aggressive after all. We don't want zombies coming as tourists to our world. So why are we trying to build approval at the cost of 48 turns? Surely that's not worth it unless you spend as supply. Says we're in deep trouble. It's sort of one of those things where eventually we will be able to do it, but it's just this one here I was concerned. She is, what's her approval? Her approval is plus 8%. We are getting a few more of these now. The expectations are low there, fairly high there. It's just the approval's not terrible here. It is a long, long time, isn't it? I mean, everything's a long time. Everything's a long time here. Now, we've got the core world capital there. That's the other thing. Do we want to change this? No, we've still got these. And the entertainment district, it does go up a little bit. I do have the manufacturing there. I could actually go and pop that one into there. And then start, that will then help a lot with just getting things done. 32, I'll do it that way, but it's ultimately I do want that approval with that bonus that we get there. That will help. It's just I think because it's a multiplier on everything that you do. It's sort of trying to get high approval is fairly good. That's my thoughts anyway. So we've got the idle ship in through there. So we've got the new refuge. This one does have the one citizen on it. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to take a punt that there's a viable system out here. Now we are also building this one here. I'm going to pop this one backwards because we don't have another colony for it to go to. So we'll go and do that one. We've got the builder there as well, the probe. It might be worth grabbing another probe as well. Let's just build that one. Put that in front, in the middle there. I just don't have anything for a colony ship to go to at this stage. Oh, now we've got these other... if we go back through there, we're going to be going right back through the dangerous space. A bit dangerous. It is a bit risky. Maybe we'll go this way to start with. I do need protection, actually. Defensive studies is coming up. I need to get a command ship just so I can start to destroy some of these pirates and things. New leader is available to be assigned. Actually, what I can do in the meantime is I can go back into the government, and we can just go back into... The command ships aren't available just yet. Actually, they're going to cost me as well, aren't they? Yeah, that's all right. Just go to institutions. So in this case, she can help with... we've got military... Forge. She's got diligence there. What'd she do there? 17 months there. Arsenal is only 10 months because of her abilities. We'll just go that way. Just get the military up. Just while we wait for a ship for her. Ship upgrades available. That's okay as well. So this one now has actually, through experience, has got an upgrade. So we'll just go in and do that. We've got a missile. That's the actual missile disruptor. This is going to have to be for a fleet ship. I'm not going to waste it on this ship here. Communications going to give me a sensor range of +2. Command bridge moves of +1 of the crew quarters. Just getting the hit points up a little bit. We already have a good number of hit points, and this is a percentage increase, which actually makes it even better. So we'll go that way. We'll just do the upgrade. So we're up to 72. That will help. And we have, yeah, no, that's okay. That's done. This is a bit risky because we just don't know what's around. Here we go. Disputed territory. Our territory contains a disputed region rich in resources. Unfortunately, a rival political faction on our world is also claiming it as their own. We're open to negotiation, but we need your support. If you back our claim, we'll share the resources with you. However, if you remain neutral, not be able to maintain a friendly relationship. They're going to go bad anyway. +1 relation for 75 turns. Pacifism increases to 2, or remain neutral. -2. I mean, we get the Arnold of Spice. Like, there's not really a big problem with that, is there? The pacifism. Do we want to go that way? I think, well, we get the spice, so we might as well do it, I guess. We can always become aggressive afterwards. Got to really look out for pirates with this ship. It is sort of making its own way through. Ah, we've found it. Okay, we've found it. This is great news. This is great news. So we've actually we've found their home world. There's a class 5 world there, which is actually a good food world. Not that they need that. We can't see anything on their particular world. They're building a manufacturing district there. But this is actually now gives us a bit of an insight. Let's go and have a look and see what they've got over here now. Now that was another ship that we just missed out on. Missed on seeing what it was. So we've now got defensive studies. Backing through here. Fragile things. Choose new tech. Still can't get this one, unfortunately. Oh boy. This one's fast. I can get this one in 8 if I just go for it. But look, I'll do this one here. I'll just get this one so we end up with the supply modules and things. That's actually not a bad one to get anyway. Ascension crystals. Actually, one thing I better check is how are we doing over here. For dead planets. Alright, so it does provide a chance to move across to here. Asteroids, yeah, that's okay. So we do have asteroids around that one, which can then feed back into Gorgon Helix. Okay, we've got the asteroid miner now, so we'll just go and throw that one into here. Get those asteroids pumping into Gorgon Helix. Got the next probe ship coming. It's going to happen pretty quickly. Now, this is a trade ship. I could set up trade with the others. I think I'll let this probe get built and then we'll just see what we end up with. Okay, we've got new cultural points. Actually, can't do anything else there just yet. Traditionalism, we can get this sacred history, the Hall of Tradition, which I don't want just yet. I mean, it might be worth getting. Yeah, manufacturing districts coming in one turn. And in reality, I probably want to get another one of those. Yeah, happiness is good here. Let's go and throw another one of these into here. Just so we sort of get more manufacturing. Research is coming up fairly nicely. Manufacturing is coming up nicely here as well. Lots of input now coming back into the core world, which is good. And, okay, so we're in trouble saying, can you get a Harmony Crystal? Gifting your governor will raise loyalty to 10. Oh, okay. Can you get a Harmony Crystal? I don't know where I'd get them from, to be honest. And saying, check the market. You might be able to sell that resource at a very high price to trade it for tech. So, what do we have here? There's hypersilicates. There's the Arno Spice. So, if I sell it, 78, I get 2 of those. Geranium's cheap. Ish, I mean, it's 50 to buy it. Yeah, all of these basic ones aren't really going to do much. Lyrium we don't have. So yeah, there's nothing much on offer there just yet. So I'll just leave everything where that is for now. Press tab to advance the next turn. Yep, we'll just do that. So we found out that there was... Oh, we didn't actually find out. This one does actually have like a Class 27 Frozen World, Class 1, and a Class 21. So they've got 2 planets here, which are amazingly good. And they haven't settled them yet. Interesting. Yeah, they haven't done it yet. So if we can get hold of those, that would be awesome. I'm not sure why they didn't settle it. Maybe they found other planets. No, they didn't have found other planets because they've got planets in their own system. It looks like maybe they're not playing effectively. I'm not sure. Again, we don't have what we wanted. I think I'm now getting too many to choose from. It's going to be hard to get the one that we want. I'm going to grab Space War Tactics so I can get some frigates. Let's keep that one there. These would be good ones for us to get hold of if we could. Unless they found something even better. They're very good planets. I can't see that they would get anything else, to be honest. This is actually, I didn't have a quick look at that system there. It's the Ascension crystals. Yeah, something like that. Nothing much else there. So, so you see, your people lineup seems to be heavily pro-intelligence, Daz. So not really. We're not leaning into that at all. It's just I've gone with something that's fairly generic in terms of what we're doing. We have an empty policy slot now, which is good. So we can go back into the policies. So we now have a few others that we've sort of been able to go and get. So shield strength, armor rating, and evasion goes up with prototype defenses. That's actually a good one once we start to go into battle. That one we don't want. Heart of the Empire. Income goes up a little bit. We are going backwards with that. Food we don't need, although yes we do actually. We've now run out of food. So export food. This one here is food goes down but income goes up. Defensive measures. Actually we're going to have to get on top of food if that's the case. Defensive measures back in through there. I better go and fix that. And then we do actually have this one here. I'm going to go and pump the growth again, even though food is sending everything backwards. Just to get more workers, more stuff. So that was the your culture points, and then we've got the growth happening here as well. Actually, the approval does go down. It could be simple just to go and get defensive measures. Oh, sorry, the prototype defenses. That one's also doesn't give us any negatives. Maybe we'll go with Heart of the Empire. It saves us a little bit, but hardly anything. This food is now a major problem. I didn't think we'd have that problem, to be honest. So let's go back to Gorgon Helix. Got 5 turns for that one through there. We do have some food locations back up the top here, some farming. So I can get food there. Let's just go and grab some of that. It's going to be 10 turns before we get that one. We've got 7 population now. Actually, we are getting a lot of scientists, but they're low intelligence. That one's actually 3. Not fantastic. Yeah, we do have Promethean. It says we can upgrade this one, but I don't think we can. Oh yeah, we've got the defense system now. So that one will boost the defense. We don't need that. I'm just going to click on done. So just leave that one where that is. Yeah, getting food anywhere else. 15 to here. Again, I don't have enough money anymore. I'll just leave it where it is. We're going to have to feed everyone from our home system, I think. Might change the order that we're doing that. To boost that one, it's going to cost too much. Way too much. Alright, well, we better keep that going. It's going to slow our growth rate right down. Having that actually happen like that, so that's okay. So move them across. And we've still only got the one cultural progression there, so I won't worry about that one. Cosmic Pioneers. Okay, so this is unveil the top 5 galactic civilizations of the most colonized world. So we're actually in the lead there. Okay, we'll keep on coming back into this other side. Uh-oh. So this one here, we've got the Umbral Horrors now moving around again, just moving at 4. So we've skipped past that one. At least we can move at 6. Just avoid these dust clouds. Not that it really matters that much, to be honest, if we do get caught. Here we go, they're now moving in. These may attack us. So if these come in, they've got an attack there. What have they got? Combat rating of 11. Our combat rating is only 6. We do have 5 beam. So what do they have in here? Umbral Horror 2. Then these are smallish sort of type ships in through here. Well, if we stay where we are, we have a total attack there of 14. They've got a total attack of 28. That's too much. So I'm going to have to get out of here. So I'm just going to do a quick beam attack. So we'll do a... actually, we've got... What have we got? We've got particle beam, and we also have missile. So I'll do a missile attack. And we'll do a beam attack as well, because we can do that up to 2 tiles away. And what's their damage done here? Defense 38, only 2, only 3, so hardly anything. We need to move away from this. So we have 8 moves. Got some other things over here we can go and grab. Glad we saw that. That wouldn't have been good. So this is a bit of a problem, depending on what it attacks. We'll have to monitor that. It's moved off, that's okay. There's another probe. They won't attack the probes, I don't think. Let's move up and see what we can find. Let's move on and out and just start to sort of explore everything now. Now, again, I don't really have a need for this, so I'll grab another... This is a supply ship, and we do want these, because this will then allow us to build up the other planets, but I'm going to need to get... Well, we need to get the frigates, which we're going to get in 2 turns. So let's go and throw that one in there. Just get the one before the colony ship. Fingers crossed. We don't find anything else nasty out this way. So it'll be a bit wary. It's a long way to go. You know, there's all sorts of different bad things can happen in amongst there. Now back to this one. Go back and do this again. Just see if that brings them back in again. If they can then sense us. That's a poor world. Got some good resources though. It's actually, so that one's not terrible. It's the only one that's there. Just, yeah, poor class world there. Let's have a quick look down this way. At least that's another world that we can go and grab if we needed to. But these here are pretty damn good. It's a bit too far away from the rest of our systems though. Like if we ever look to see where we can go. We're close-ish. Like we, you know, if we can, even if we grab that one, it would then mean we could go and get the other. I'm still not seeing anything else there just yet. I don't know where these monsters are living, but just keep on sort of having a bit of a look around the place. Black hole there. Antimatter there. Okay, that's that would be good. And the antimatter there. So getting Getting a location in here would be great, actually. So getting a constructor ship would be ideal. Now we've got 2 of these. No, we've got 9 of these now. So let's go and grab the next lot of constructors, because that's going to be... Is that a egalitarianism? That's 3 colony ships. We don't need that one. Iron Fist, individualism. It's not progressivism. Was it already here? Yeah, I've already done that one. Okay, so that's not what we want. Nihilism gives me three free supply ships, but we don't know what else there is around us. If we go back to this one here, the Independence spawns the Independence ship. It's again not ideal. Iron Fist, we get a plus 100 control. We are spending control, but we don't need a lot of it. I just don't need it. I'm going to go this way. Get the Sacred History. That way we can build that on their homeworld as well. The homeworld's sort of developing quite nicely. And actually, with that in mind now, I'm gonna need to go back into here and grab myself a builder ship. I want that antimatter. I mean, the supply ship's going to be able to get things really being built quickly. Like sending a supply ship out to Severum, it's just that we have to protect it, so I'm going to need frigates before I can even do that anyway. And I'm probably going to need multiple to be able to take on that group, and we'll need the command ship. So we have a lot to do yet. Space War Tactics, back in through here. So we've got the space isn't just big, it's dangerous. So we've got the, this one does give us the, we'll just go to choose new tech. And now look, I think I have to go and get this now. This one does provide 2 free warships, which won't be enough to take on the other group. The armed shuttles. It's only 4, actually I'll go that way, it's only 4 turns. Hi T5 Cats, how you going? So you're seeing I was watching some Star Sector. I haven't played that for like forever actually. I mean, I've played it a long time ago. There's a third one. Three of them in amongst this one here. Let's just see if there's other. And there's some Illyrium. Okay, this is really becoming now something where we do want to get some mining ships in here. Okay, another one of these. We have prototype defense. I think we'll start to now pop that one in there so we don't have to think about it. Let's go and click on done. And press tab to advance the next turn. So yeah, we've still got this one here. We have one planet, a poor planet here. So what do we have over here? Nothing. We've got one planet there, which is actually not too bad. God, it's a long way to go again though. Let's just go for it and see what we can find. We might send a probe out just to see if we can find any other nasties that are sort of potentially going to get in the way of this particular ship. So I'll sort of escort that in just through checking things out. Oh, okay, we survived it. Gee, that was lucky. I think it must be pirates down this way. All right, we can find out. What are we dealing with? Yeah, so we've got ourselves a bomber, a little pirate bomber there. Now these only move at 2. We want to make sure that this one is sort of further out, up this way, and that looks pretty safe. God, lucky we diverted away. We were heading across here, straight for it. It was waiting for us. A cunning trap. All right, so we'll just massage this one up into here. This will then give us the expansion that we need to get into here. which we will try to do, but we won't rush doing that one. The arsenal is leveled up. Okay, so we've now got this one here. We've gone to level 1 with our military. So manufacturing. Don't know if that's going to help us. 17 months there. Only 18 months there to go to the next level there. Research. She's not great at research. It really is the what's it called? The resolve or whatever. This one here. Yep, resolve. So we need to get her a command ship. One of these. Find out whichever was the most impressive, and then start to sort of build a bit of a fleet around it. So we need to start doing that, but I have run out of time, guys. I'm going to go off for a swim, so I'm going to leave it here. At least we've made a start, and so what I'm going to be doing is the next coming days. By the way, the games are cheap at the moment. There is actually a tracking link in the description if you do want to sort of grab the game or the update. I should have mentioned that at the start. They are on special at the moment. They're on sale for a few more days. But I will be continuing this on my live channel at DasTactic Live, and so we'll end up sort of basically doing what we can over there to progress the game. And I'll come back here in maybe a couple of weeks or a week or so after we're getting close to getting the government style of things, so I can show that as well. So I'll show the important things on this channel, but I'll probably be only really one other stream here, and most of the streams now for this one will be on the DasTactic Live channel. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you then.